Welcome to Open Minds, Open Mic, the place to be on a Friday night. We have a very special delight for you in the way of a feature from my man's Deep Thoughts, the Lyricist. I remember the first time I heard him, I was immediately like, I want a feature set from you. I need more, 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 more. And he so graciously agreed to come through tonight and bless us with a feature set. So I'm really excited for that. Um, I always like to start off the shows with a poem myself because how can I expect y'all to open up, share your soul, share your heart, you know, if I don't do it myself, right? Like that'd be, that's just weird. And since I'm in such a loving mode right now for my wife, man, she's been kicking ass the last few weeks. I think I'm gonna share this with y'all. It's called Catalyst, You Amazing Soul. And it goes like this. I often find myself getting lost in your eyes, high and kind. You're melting frost in my mind, tossing aside any doubt that I've ever held on to. Lost in my pride, I'll shout, I'll forever belong to you. Watching you move, it's like a movie to me. You truly are the grooviest being that I've ever seen. My queen of green, and all things cat related. A concentrated ball of cute molecules, you glued my eyeballs to you. I'm lost without who? Catalyst. Dreaming of your soul since I was nil years old. Breathing in your essence relentlessly, secretly, I stopped to think what led you to me. Where was I resting before I met thee? When was I blessed to be with you? Why does every day feel like a dream? It's true. I can't figure out how I was so lucky to meet you. Wishing I could treat you to all the glorious things you seek to do. Side by side, we were always meant to be. Let's ride this ride and see where it brings the two of us. Our love will ring throughout destiny, a view of trust. Everything we knew to be true of lust and love. I'll always put you above my own soul, 'cause you are my home. I got no other place to go. So, thank you for being there and for showing me that you care. Peace. So, yeah, we got a dope show coming up. Um, on deck, we've got Principe Guity Jr., but stepping up to the plate now, we've got Paul Skiff, the Jedi Master himself, who's gonna be flying up here for a free pre-roll. Free $5 pre-roll. I'll toss you, man, if you come up.
Yeah, set me free. How did you and Catalyst meet? That must be a story.
Um, Oddly enough, it was she was moderating a Facebook group, and my friend was on it, and like he started kind of chat with her. Oh, I thought I had you on the list, Nemo, and yeah, deep. I'll throw someone on there before you. You know what? To kill a little bit more time, I'm gonna read y'all the other love poem I got from him because Deep's still on his way home. So I'll do two pieces, right? How can I ask y'all to do two pieces if I just do one? So I'll read. But yeah, basically, she was moderating a Facebook group, and my buddy had posted something, and she kind of had his back, right? You know what I mean? It's like, what, because everyone was like trash. She's like, nah, don't worry about it. Like, don't listen to them. And then they started chatting, and then he introduced me to her, and then we started talking, and it was like, where have you been all my life? And she was all the way up in Canada. I'm down in South Florida. And then, we met up, and that's that. We've been married for over 6 years now, and it's just, it's so great to be able to meet your soulmate, like someone that you just know it was meant for you, you know? Um, and yeah, so I got another little piece right here. This one, it's a companion piece, one that she has. Uh, Mine's called The Last Adam, and hers was called The First Eve. And it's called The Last Adam, but ATOM. And hers was the first Eve, as in evening, the first evening that we met. But it goes like this: feeling crazy, craving the creative crevices of your brain, baby. Am I insane? Maybe. Thanks for saving me. It's absolutely fucking amazing how you float around the 3D space we seem to be trapped in. But I'm laughing every time we break into the next plane of being. It's beginning to be so frequently. I think if we push a little harder, we can secretly become these astral beings we see in these higher realms. Is that DMT? May I please have a smell? Fuck it. Let me puff it till my lungs swell. Holding, holding, holding. Oh hell, I just broke through to heaven. Now I'm laughing with the L's. Mother Gaia sharing knowledge of the past incarnations of our love, knowing it'll never pass. Forever together, even after we gasp for our last bit of air. Our souls release the grasp we had on this physical form. Reborn, it won't be long till we can keep each other warm once more. You're my favorite soul. It's always been you that I adore. Sworn to love and protect you until the last atom is torn apart and the universe turns dark. It'll just be you and I beaming through space as pure love and light. You know I'm right, right by your side for the rest of time, for I am yours and you are mine. Peace. Oh, yeah, that's that. All right, so yeah, like I said before, on deck, we've got Principe Guity Jr. But stepping up to the mic now, give it up for the Jedi Master himself, Paul motherfucking Skiff. If you can unmute
It was
yourself
such
and
a
bless
great
us with
story.
some.
You met online.
Yeah.
Reminds me of one of my last girlfriends. We're still best friends in the whole world, but we met online and this is before Internet 2.0 when you just had to be on chat boards, right? And we were on this chat board chatting for like 6 months. And finally she says, we should meet somewhere. And I'm thinking, well, this is the Internet. Does this mean I have to buy a plane ticket to Australia? And I said, where do you want to meet? She said, oh, Avenue B and 3rd Street, fucking around the corner. Turns out we
Wow.
lived around the block from each other.
Wow. Yeah, mine was much further. I was in South Florida and she was in Central Alberta. So we joke about
Not,
it. Yeah, the internet was created just so we could meet each other.
yeah, crazy. It's great to be here with all you folks. Just gonna do one thing. It's not too short, but it's not too long. This goes into the harsh zone, so some of it might be uncomfortable for some people. Just saying. The power plant is the sky whose sunlight burns in the 60-watt bulb. The dumpster dive is a pilgrimage to the reincarnated eternity of use. The need of the junkie is the border over which stupor is allowed to be smuggled. The pit bull is an ambulance in which fear rides to protection. The pussy hunger of the businessman is the stage on which naked bodies are danced passed out. The plead of the beggar is a prediction of the future economy drops in a cup. The insensitivity of the corporate nun is a natural resource extracted by the company. The indifference of the landlord is a small room with no running hot water where calluses of the profit margin live. The glamour of the movie set is slumber, where reputation dreams. It is a secret wish naked in a crowd of microphones. The soul of the entertainer is a midget dog, yammering bland pronouncements of the most diverting, mediocre salvation. The pride of the casual insult is the broken elevator of advantage in which insignificance presses the button to a wrong floor. The intersection crosses preference of choice where all direction is decided in advance. The ticket seller is the mouth of all cheers. The technical difficulty is the fetus of time before it answers identity with a face. The height of the office tower is boredom of ambition with only thin air as a place to go. The self-advertising tycoon is the penny whose shallow face is dented with transactions. These elementary truths are how warm rain soaks the skin. In nostrils scrounge remnants of the scent from the orifice that evicted you from bliss. Look forward only to abrupt termination. In between is the junk heap of more than 10,000 years of mistaken priorities. Even to breathe is to be deluded by the false imperatives. The history of the world fades magnificent off the moment of achievement. The violence of life bangs like a gavel in the courtroom of seasons. The deadbolt lock is the filthy habit privacy keeps to itself. The shadow under the car makes stillness the destination of speed. The dictatorship of love is a bruised face stared at by the lonely. The humiliation of dignity embarrasses laughter with a crowd of tortured mouths. The cancerous face is silence spreading upon the concern to suffer as a choke of their pristine question about God. The encounter with the flat screen is a trip into swindles of light. Until you joyously hurl yourself upon the depredations of fate you will never know. Anguish means nothing. Turnable page, disconnected electricity, temptation of the key. The dildo is stiff with matriarchal firmness, mothering mutual pleasure. The passivity of the abused is offered to inferiority for the asking. The orgasm shivers arteries, climaxing in passion's epilepsy. The gush of the sated vulva is thank you elixir kissed back into provocation's mouth. The angel assaults tribulation into consenting surrender tied by salvation to the bedstead of confessions. The deflowered virgin is a naked past of one time only fled from by innocence. The joyous yelling tongue is the grateful clitoris burst from its labial pleasure. Sex hyperventilates imaginary exhaustion to increase the probability of actual dreams. Abandon information in the futile pageant of its fits and shocks. Forsake blood within the confines of the body. Abdicate the stage to the charmed, motionless thing that sits still in front of it. Loath be it for anyone to invent twists unsavory to even the most wound up vulgar fans. Loath be it for anyone to depart normal intellectualizing for the quest to ecstasy. Whatever engulfs you is easy to elude. Too positive, negative. The third term must be a blatant ripoff of certainty. When human truth is revealed from mutilation of the most angelic scapegoat, people need to accept gratification exposed beneath their own tortured surprise, especially when what rests there is their joy-lit face in a mirror. Take off your shirt to serve me your back. Across your skin I will carve and heal the next pronouncement as impassioned love with pleasure singing air delivered by the salted leather of my tongue.
I like that ending line there. Salted leather of my tongue. Everybody, do me a favor. Unmute yourselves and give it up for the Jedi Master himself, Paul Skiff.
Woo!
Woo! Yeah,
Yeah.
Paul.
Good job. Good job.
Get
Good
it.
job.
Fire.
Oh,
I love
yeah.
that.
Dope, as always.
Thank you, everybody.
As always. And remember, I'm looking forward to you coming up here, man. Looks like we got some more people trickling in. See, this is why I like doing a few open mics before the feature because it gives people time to come in. I've been adding everyone to the list in order of arrival. I will post the list in a little while. If you do not want to read, that's fine. We still love you. But if you'd like to read and you're not on the list, let me know as well, right? Hey, Mama Karen in the house here. Yeah, so on deck we've got Clarence, aka Nebraska Poet. But coming up to the plate now, we got Principe Guity Jr. Principe, if you can unmute yourself and bless us with some words, I greatly appreciate it.
Well, thank you. I'm gonna share two poems tonight. The first poem is untitled right now. I have inconceivable island of feelings in close proximity, filling up my chest, the place my feelings reside at. The rain, irrigation from my eyes on the ground. I mean, the rain, irrigation from my eyes, and the ground gups it every time. What feelings? Doubt, anxiety, fear, all swimming in my head. At social events, I wear fatigues to cover them, but that never works. Anxiety with lingering life drowns me in its pull like a flood. Fear knowing that my mistakes bat my dreams out of the park. Doubting at times because I think I'm not good enough to pique everyone's attention. With the God no one to speak to. May these words be in books that were inconceivable island of feelings. One more. This one is called Nature is my anti-synthetic. As I stroll through a forestry paradise, I ascend to sit on damp, thick tree trunks by the ocean where scrambled thoughts simmer like a pot on the stove. The surrounding air of my robe hugs my body. Nature is the nature is the instrumental soothing my mind as if a headache left it, even a remedy to my energy's breakability. In the process, switching the limited beliefs to positive affirmations. You can't do it to I am. That's all I have for right now. Thank you.
Yeah, Principe. Everybody, do me a favor. Give all the love you got for Principe Guity Jr.
More.
Woo!
Yeah.
Very
Encore.
good.
Attaboy.
Principe,
Attaboy.
yeah.
Attaboy.
Whoop,
Both
whoop.
of them.
Yeah, buddy. What a wonderful night so far, man. Y'all really made my week. I've been working so hard, been getting no sleep, and I've been looking forward to this day, trust me. And so far, it's just been amazing. Um, Coming up on deck, we've got Nemo Sum, who just did an amazing feature for us last week. Y'all need to check out the YouTube page, youtube.com/ at Open Minds Open Mic, I think it is. Just search Open Minds Open Mic on YouTube. You're gonna see a lot of great features, a lot of great shows. Yeah. But coming up next, we got Clarence, aka Nebraska Poet. Now, Clarence, don't jump the gun yet, cause you new here, right? I ain't never seen you here before. So there's a little something we like to do when someone's new. And for those that know, go ahead and unmute yourselves and give a big open mind, open heart, open arms welcome to Clarence, aka Nebraska Poet.
Welcome.
Man,
Welcome.
Hi,
Welcome. Welcome. Welcome.
Clarence.
welcome.
Hey,
Woo! All
So
right,
glad you're
welcome,
Clarence.
here.
Clarence. Give us the word from Nebraska.
Is you the illest one in Nebraska?
Summer was in.
Oh man, peace, y'all. Peace.
Nice.
Yeah, man, I'm Clarence, aka Nebraska Poet. Um, I came through because I went to Deep's open mic. This was probably a couple months back, and the brother showed me a lot of love and respect. So I just wanted to kind of come through and reciprocate. I'm here to support, but I'm also here to spit. So yeah, man, that's what it's about. Um, and let's just do this. You see, I can't let her go. I'm connected from head to toe. She's contained my brain to make these words flow. You see, she knows me. Off the tops of trees, good friends, OGs, Northside streets, even when I'm in too deep. She's there, with the only care being me, freeing thee from self-induced insecurities, them interview apologies, because them corporate cats in the just don't understand this hood psychology. Oh, they look at me crazy because of this hair, but I don't care. I just lower my brow and give their ass an old school mean mug stare and see she's still there by my side like veins in the skin, a beginning that never ends, 180 degrees, then back again. She's deeper than the seven deadly sins. Her ancestors 6 feet deep in coffin. She adds up the last two numbers and comes up with 13 righteous ends. She's more than just a friend or a love. She's a gift from the most high above. I cherish her more than America did Michael Jackson's glove. She covers me. In the street where the stars don't shine, in the bar where the wine glistens and listens to my favorite rhymes. You see her give me lines, but not of coke, but hope. Where the voices are screaming and finally heard, where the joyous sounds are understood in the hood and on the curb. Essence and presence she presents me with that opportunity to be me, not some corporate jockey or just some cat off the street hella sloppy. You see, I love she, and she I. For nights I cried tired because I thought she left me, but by the hand of him guiding me back to my pen, she's back in my life. So if you ask me why I write, I have no problem pulling you to the side and explaining the orgasm and explaining the orgasm and explaining the orgasm that she gives me each and every night. It's never a fight. She takes me on flights of beautiful realities, causing my body to fold on bended knee, thanking thee for the gift to express and being at my best when I address a pen to a pad. I'm back on the block where writers are, and I'm so glad. So thank you again, poetry.
Yeah,
And that's the piece.
yeah. I think you is the illest one in Nebraska. You got a second piece for us? We'd like to share too here, man. That was dope. I like that.
Yeah, definitely, man. I can definitely this is a piece that's out of my book, Fire Molten Ass. It's a little
Hey,
bit of a
make
short
sure
piece.
too. Oh, I want to do a blanket comment here too. If you guys got books, socials, all that, go ahead and drop it in the chat. We all about community here. We about supporting each other. You know what I'm saying? Linking up, doing collabs, buying each other's books, right? Like we are poetry. And poetry, this community, it can't happen if unless we don't reach out to each other. Like you said, you know, you went to Deep's open mic, and now you here supporting him, and other people get to hear you. So like, make sure you drop your book links, your socials, all that. Let's stay connected, people. Let's support each other. And new, I got you on the list already.
All right. Peace. This one is called To Boot. Um, Better has finally become the standard. Low bars and bars, budding with buds and buds, brew, and just enough information to be ignorant. Spoke with slurred conviction, enough seeped out to make a difference in darkness under spotlight on stages. Now gray hairs demand better. Where is that fire, the fuel, the facts? Void of statistics, situations stipulate wisdom, recall broken memory, and pits in belly where ash and gray embers await new breath. A challenge? Granted. Rise like fatherhood, rise like two jobs, rise like unhappiness to the occasion of goal settings and next generation success because hustles are worked and bills are paid and examples are set and stereotypes are stomped as dances in the dust become celebrations and babies are balanced with duality, hard to allow their freedom to determine their reality. Rise like letting go, be better, one revision after a vision without becoming blind of why, because the why is easy, becoming better. And that's that piece.
Yo, everybody, do me a favor and give it up for Nebraska poet and welcome
Deserved.
home, brother. Welcome home.
Yeah, you got to
Yeah.
come back
Welcome,
here.
welcome, welcome.
Oh,
Great
hell
job, great job.
yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah, you need to come back.
Yeah, for sure. We're here every Friday night, every Monday night. We would love to hear more from you. Um, yeah, speaking of Friday features and everything, last week we had my boy Nemo Sum. Y'all need to check it out. Go to YouTube, search Open Minds, Open Mic. Check out all the other features that we had. We got amazing features every week. But yeah, Nemo, if you can unmute yourself and bless us with some word, I really appreciate it, bro.
Oh, absolutely. I am so excited to hear Deep, so I'm not going to take long. I've got a micro triptych, which is three thematically connected micro poems. And you can find more of my work at nemosumwords.com. All my social media links are there. The phoenix refuses to rise. So we lay in the ashes despair, and I, staring at the ceiling, not talking, still, because moving only makes her hold on tighter. I can feel my heartbeat slowing. Anger left hours ago. He didn't turn to look, just slammed the door. And I heard a car peeling out into the night. I don't know if he'll come back this time. I wish his absence felt peaceful. Everyone here is broken because everyone here lost the fight. The fire's gone out. The air smells like loss. And I'm waiting for someone who isn't coming. I observed two flights, one red, one black. As we raced down countless miles, two cardinals crossed the highway just in front of the car, just in front of us. Were these rivals chasing one another? Or brothers or lovers intertwined, swooping low and showing off just a little? My mind saw the fell geometry, and then everything was on rails, and life was reduced to distance and speed. For just a moment, the first bird was lost in the massive black of the car in front of us. Felt relief in watching it explode in a mass of brilliant red, knowing that's what's supposed to happen when nature meets steel at the end of its trajectory. But I wondered as we sped away what the second bird was feeling right now. Running on a nature trail the following day, I observed two butterflies, black, darting together in a circle in front of me, fighting or courting against the blue of the afternoon. For the better part of a minute, our paths lined up, and I prepared to witness a tiny but violent explosion of black against my bright red shirt. But our lines did not meet, and they danced on unaware as I sped away and wondered what it felt like to be crushed mid-flight. Someone's gonna die today. Someone's gonna get shot right in the face today. Someone's gonna fall today, gonna think, so this is what it's like while they go. Someone's gonna pull the plug today, gonna swallow hard and call it off. Someone's gonna leave a note today, gonna try to explain why they gave up but failed. Someone's gonna lose someone today, gonna wanna rip the molten heart from their heaving chest. Someone's gonna get sick today, gonna have to figure out what to do with the little time they have left. Someone's getting blown up today, gonna be vaporized by something nobody's flying and a bomb nobody saw coming. Someone's getting saved today, gonna feel the strength of the arm that pulls them away from danger, gonna cry at being worth saving. Someone's gonna get born today. Someone's gonna fall in love today. Someone's gonna rise today, gonna stand back up despite the pain, despite the doubt, despite having every reason to stay down. Thank you.
Thank you. Everybody, do me a favor. Give all the love you got for Nemo Sum.
Way to go, Nemo.
Nemo took me on a journey, brother. Took me on a journey.
The air smells like loss. That's one of my most memorable lines from your poems, Nemo.
Right? He had me put my glasses on. They're real 3D glasses because it got so real that I had to see that. Yo, we got a wonderful night
Thank you, everyone.
coming up ahead. Deep Thoughts was still in transit on his way home. So we're gonna continue with the other list before we get to our features. So thank y'all for sticking around. Thank y'all for showing up. Um, we have Jania on fire. If they'd like to read on stepping up now, and then on deck we got TaurinV. Jania, I didn't never got an answer whether you wanted to be on the list or not, so I'm still kind of unsure. But if you would like to read, just let me know. not, I can keep you tentative, and yeah, and we'll move on to our next performers. Waiting for Deep Thoughts to get home, so you be nice and give us a good show. So in that case, then we got Justine on deck. Coming up next, TaurinV. Taurin, I know you new here. I haven't heard you yet. I'm really excited. So y'all know what to do when we got new folk in the house. Everybody, do me a favor. Unmute yourselves. Give a big open mind, open heart, open arms welcome to TaurinV.
Let's
Woo-hoo!
go.
Yeah,
Let's go, Tori.
Torrin.
Let's go,
Yeah.
Clarence.
Taurin, if you can bless us with some words, we greatly appreciate it. Right? Taurin might be away from the PC right now too. So I'll keep Taurin tentative as well. Still on the list, still holding space. Um, we got to keep the show rolling. We got a lot of poets in here tonight, and we got a great feature. We trying to stall a little bit for the feature, but we still got a lot of great poets here that we can enjoy in the meantime. So on deck, we got Keturah, right? I don't think you said you didn't want to be on this, so hopefully we can hear from Keturah. Um, but before that, we got my homie right here, Justine. Justine, if you could bless us with some words, I would greatly appreciate it.
Hey, I have something short that I can share. This is called Anathema. You came to me draped in dusk, a whisper of ruin laced in silk, the weight of your name pressed to my throat, like a lover's hand, half caress, half choke. O wretched divinity, my sacred affliction, have carved your essence into my ribs, scratched your sigil upon my wrist, until love and malediction bled as one. Do you taste the iron on my tongue? It is the echo of your vow, a kiss delivered by unseen lips, soft as decay, sweet as rot. I've let you fester in my marrow, a sickness I refuse to cure, drinking deep from the chalice of your absence until longing itself becomes a wound. Anathema, I wake to the scent of funeral lilies, petals curling black upon my skin. Your touch lingers in the bruised hollows of my throat, a chain of phantom fingers I dare not break. You slip through me like smoke, like a hymn hummed by the dead, a dirge only I can hear, the song of my ruin, my rapture, my fates. What is love if not surrender? I have given you all but breath, and even that I would lace with hemlock, if only to taste you in my dying gasp. I am yours, body and bane, a willing bride to my own undoing. Curse me deeper, anathema, for I will love you still. Poem.
Beautiful, beautiful. Everybody, unmute yourselves and give it up for Justine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Beautiful,
Really,
beautiful.
yeah, really lush, really lush.
I've noticed there's a few more folks that just showed up. I've added you guys to the list. I'll be posting the list here in a little bit. We saw some people tentative. Hopefully they come back and read for us. Uh, Jania, Taurin, you guys here? If not, okay. Oh,
Can
Bekah
you hear
Shu
me?
too.
Yep.
All right. So in that case, yeah. Jenny, are you want to read for us tonight?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yep, we hear you loud and clear. Yeah, if you could just hold off for 1 second, cause everybody y'all know what to do. Unmute yourselves. Give a big open mind, open heart, open arms welcome to Janiayaonfire.
Woo! Welcome.
Welcome, welcome.
Welcome.
Yeah, let's get it.
If you could take it away and bless us with some words, we'd appreciate it.
Okay. For the ones that don't know me, I am Janiayaonfire. I was inspired to write poetry, and this piece is called My Prayer to the Lord. Lord, I take this time to ask you, please help me to find a way to get back where I need to be. I'm not okay. I keep watching what's happening to my spirit. This battle is not mine, it's yours, the Lord. I know you have me covered and will find a peaceful place for me. It feel like I lost another best friend, and she ain't even gone yet. Why everything bad happening to me when you send me positive things or bless me with things that change me? I'm tired of crying. I just want to smile and say everything is okay, and I will make it through all the things that's hard and painful times during these New Year's come around. While these days will get better, I want to say thank you, Lord, for what you're going to do to me, for me this year. I'm claiming it will be blessed. Amen. And that's that piece.
I like that. You got a second one for us?
Okay, this piece is called The Call That Never Came. It was a prompt from Battle Poetry from Ramrock. I'm so hurt the call never came when my grandma left this earth. Why didn't they reach out? I'm her baby. Finding out for someone else snatched her heart out my chest, broke me into left me depressed in darkness. Everybody got a call but me, the one who greased their scalp, sat through hours watching Walker Texas Ranger, share smiles and peanuts. I guess that wasn't enough for an explanation. I guess that's why I'm still waiting for the call that never came. Our bloodshot sitting in a pool full of tears, with a basket of loaded questions and memories to only hold on to. I never got a chance to say goodbye. Sunday morning service never felt the same. You stole the chance for me to say, I love you one more time. Dear Grandma, wish we could still listen to your favorite song, spend more time together, share more trips to the thrift store, have more days that smell like cornbread and pork chop. They didn't call me when you left. I never got a chance to say goodbye, but I know you are here with me. I feel like I'm beating myself up because I wasn't there. Please forgive me. I love you. It's not my fault. And that's that piece.
Mm. Everybody, do me a favor. Unmute yourselves and give it up for Janaya on fire.
Oh, such
Wow.
strong
That was
work.
gorgeous. So much hope.
And give it up for
Yeah, you weren't
Ramrock too for
joking when you
inspiring
said you
that.
were inspired. That's for
Yeah, he was
sure.
definitely inspired. Amazing stuff, amazing stuff. So I do believe our feature is still en route. So we're gonna go and we're gonna listen to a few more poets here. We got um Torin. If you ready to perform, man, we would love for you to unmute yourself and bless us with some words. But I do believe it's your first time here too. So everybody here, you know what to do. Unmute yourselves. Give a big open mind, open heart, open arms welcome to TaurinV.
Welcome, Torn. Let's go, Torn.
Let's go. Welcome, welcome.
Yay, Torn.
Go, Torin.
Yo, what's up, y'all? I'm gonna just go ahead and read my little pieces and get out the way real quick. I got two for y'all. She had me wrapped around her shattered spirit, worshiping the jagged pieces, manifesting a dubious destiny while tethered to her fluctuating intimations, absorbing the erratic energy that kinetically forced us to opposing boundaries into an undefined state that signified nothing, engaged to the fantasy of us, anticipating the raining of rice, but left standing at the altar, directionless, desperately defiant in the face of the obvious, resolute in my radicalism, fighting tooth and nail to stake a claim in the abstract, but only managing to occupy real estate adjacent to the unremembered, in the midst of the asunder, many moons away from the center of her heart, where the air is brisk and the light is obscured by the looming shadow of her indifference. Our catastrophic uncoupling was the consequence of a crippling epiphany, a swan song sung by a psychotic siren, a final goodbye wordlessly communicated, executed with excruciating silence, followed by the stillness that coincides with catharsis and the settling of the seas that churned within me, the purifying of contaminated prophecies contained within the book of her, revelations that refuse to be restrained, ushering in an awakening of self-sustaining clarity, undeniable as gravity, a final premonition unraveled in real time, an ageless love lost in the unmerciful embrace of oblivion, unable to escape the void between enduring fervor and expendable infatuation, so she became my dark muse.
Yo, Torin, you got another piece for us, brother?
Yeah, I got another one. My avatar is oddly shaped, an asymmetrical thing with angles too sharp to be grasped, an imperfect picture painted with peculiar precision, using watercolor teardrops that cascade down a carefully crafted mask, dripping onto disjointed diatribes, soaking esoteric confessions with supremely superfluous syntax, autobiographical expressions of tribulations buried in shallow graves, spontaneous splatters of anguish on a sullied canvas, marked with undeciphered innuendo, messages frantically scrawled on walls, hastily constructed to conceal the turmoil behind a stoic demeanor that belies secrets clamoring for liberation. Bear witness to my emotions uncloaked, full frontal honesty on display, intimate language that cannot be unheard, explicit snapshots of my soul intentionally leaked, fragments of my story scattered skillfully throughout uncoupled lines, intentionally dropped, left to be followed like breadcrumbs, meticulously manufactured morsels of my life best consumed with an empty mind, slices of time that slide off my tongue with the express purpose of watering down willful ignorance of my mischances, removing a sheet from the wretched tales I keep within arm's reach, tempting the ghost with true stories on their undead lips. My introspections are oxymorons, energized by agony, sensibilities subject to wavering fates, the offspring of the uncertain circumstances that linger after the last word of my prayers, defeatist echoes from another chapter of my story, drowned out by the new noise unbridled idealism makes as humble beginnings emerge and spread their wings for the first time.
Yo, welcome home. That's all I got to say. Fuck.
Appreciate you, bro.
Everybody unmute yourselves and give it up for Torin.
Yo,
Yeah,
Yes, Tor.
Torn.
Torin.
Absolutely amazing.
Full,
Wow. Wow.
yeah,
Fire, brother, fire.
full frontal
Absolutely.
honesty. That's the kind of thing I want to see on a t-shirt or a billboard. That's like
Right?
it's like a big dare to anybody.
Yeah.
So
I,
good to
appre-
hear your work again, Torin. Thank you.
I
Yo,
appreciate y'all.
and welcome
Appreciate y'all.
home, man. We hope you could you know come through more. We got Friday shows, we got Monday shows. We got some more shows coming up this year too. Um, yeah, just welcome home, man. To all of y'all who came through, man. We really appreciate it. Um, I just got word from Deep.
Bro, the food is in this water. Like, I don't even know how it got there. With someone.
Hey, hey, so yeah, I got a message from Deep. He said he'd be ready after the next poem. Uh, so we should have Deep coming up on deck. But now we got Keturah. If you're available to read for us, we would really appreciate it if you could bless us with some words. If not, we can keep you tentative and we'll keep this show rolling because we got so many poets in here tonight that want to share. So, Keturah, yeah, um, we'll keep you on the list, right? You might be busy at the moment. You didn't know if he was going before or after the feature, right? But that's the fun part of open minds is, we roll with the punches, right? So in that case, we're gonna go ahead and move on to Celine. Celine, could you unmute yourself and bless us with some words? But first, I believe it's your first time here. So everybody, you know what to do. Give a
I
big
love you,
open
Celine.
mind, open heart, open arms. Welcome to Celine.
I love you, baby.
Love you too. Good night, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, I am CP Writes, aka Miss Vulnerable Vibes. And yeah, I'm here to support Deep, actually, but of course I'm gonna do a piece. And this one is entitled Survival of Skin. Life seems to police the weakling in me. On days I am down, he doesn't know that by being black blackens even more the clouds over my head, creating a chokehold feeling around my neck as if being just a woman wasn't bad enough. Proof that unlike being a particular sex, it is easier to die in this ocean called skin than it is to live. But to survive, they say, we must keep swimming. And yet, I wonder, how much longer can one trudge along these terrains where the pavements are carpeted by autumn leaves, leaving the bullshit hidden by the masses? That racism profoundly exists among us still. I have learned that life knows our dependency on the physical that surrounds us, so he refrains from unveiling the eyes, hoping, despite everything, the mind's eye doesn't mysteriously marry merely the beyond to see that I am a goddess. We, being God blessed, have his guidance to overcome all these occurrences currently against us as we swim upstream in tidally fluctuating fluid to be a better version of self, to recreate a world that is better for our children. I've written poems about how my favorite shade is black, because black is beautiful, but today I must adorn myself in red as I prove to life that in spite of his everything, sinking me deeper in this misery we exist in, that I've been here before on a different wave, but dig deeper and you'll see that life doesn't present us with anything new, only painted in various colors to create that you don't know anything what I'm about to go through kind of vibe. That's a piece.
Yes, Celine. You got a second piece for us too?
Yeah, sure. Um, if my love was not real, and he wouldn't have lived as long as he has, lifeless, holding on to life while longing for death. And it made me wonder if I had genuinely loved the woman who caused my birth, for she too called for death to hold her, but it did. I can't help but think that maybe heaven knew something we didn't, that perhaps our hearts needed to reshift a bit in order to feel, so it chose for us her absence. Her eyes. Sorry, he says he appreciates the way I care for him, that he loves only me despite him having a wife, but on his deathbed, not even his wife shows him this much love. He says, I am just too good to him. And although I'm just doing my job, I wonder if she, my mother, appreciated me more or just as much. I pray still that her heart knew I did all that I could, that I had desired to keep her alive for all her grandchildren. Before I leave his bedside, I ask if he'll miss me. Without thinking too much, he proclaims, yes. Did I mention he is the only man who gently kisses my hand on repeat, to the point where tears begin to travel, teasing emotions to spiral in, as if he is blood, but he is a reminder that if I have genuine love, then you don't have to be. Thus, I will give true love to the very end. And once again, I can't help but wonder if the love they gave me when I was younger became eventually my superpower. And if it did, then why couldn't I save my fair lady from falling the way London Bridge fell? I wished even on wishing wells, but no one heard me. But still, I can't help but wonder if she heard my voice over the pain waves, if she was just tuned into my heart stereo like everyone else's, would she have remained? And if I'll forever be broken, but I don't want to be healed, fearing I'll forget and lose out on holding her close to me to her misery. He says he wants to go to hell, for this is the way to live. I tell him, I don't know where that is, but if I did, I would go in search of her so I can once again take her home to relive the moments so I can wonder again. And that's that piece.
Yo, thank you so much. Everybody, unmute yourself.
Golly. Correct
Beautiful.
CP. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Damn.
Mm.
You are the truth, girl.
Thank you.
Please come back and share more too. Like, yo, so deep. I got so much love for you right now because you done brought in a whole bunch of amazing poets. It's been such a wonderful night. And I know you've been in transit and whatnot, but you ready now, so like I'm super excited. Um, I wish I could stay for the whole show, but I gotta get back doing things, make sure my wifey okay there at the shop. But I'm gonna stay for your feature because I still got a little time, you know what I mean? Hopefully I can hear a few more people after the feature. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and introduce this man right here. I remember the first time I heard y'all, I was like, yo, I need a feature from you, and you agreed to do it tonight, and you brought in all the friends, new people, new folks, new words, and I just love it, man. Yeah, Arsenio Sorrell is an award-winning professional writer who has performed on stages all over the U.S. He has been writing since 2002, and as of April 15th, 2024, he is an established author. Arsenio's first publication, Prophecies from My Heart, dope title by the way, saw much success while reaching audiences worldwide. His second publication, Midnight Thoughts and Deep Love, see what you did there, came in May 2024. Arsenio has made it a personal mission to spread love to others whenever possible. He hopes one day we can truly learn to love and appreciate each other as we were meant to. And so far, what you brought with all these folks in this feature this night, you really brought the love. And so I appreciate you. Everybody, unmute yourselves and give it up for tonight's feature, Deep Thoughts, the Lyricist.
Woo!
Ooh,
Yes.
Go
yay.
deep.
Congratulations,
Go.
Deep.
Go.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yo,
Blow, blow, blow.
That was wonderful. I love y'all.
Love you too, bro.
We love you too.
I tried to get some water when y'all were saying that, and whoever unmiked first and yelled almost
You must-
spit out. So thank you to everybody who came out tonight. I really appreciate y'all. Y'all know that. I love y'all so much. So feel free to kind of respond, because I will kind of ask questions here and there. And if y'all feel it in you to respond in the chat and stuff, please feel free to do so. If you've ever been to one of my in-person features, I mush my poems into one big story. And so that's what we're going to be doing today. So if y'all can respond for me, you can unmute your mics to say this too, but can I tell y'all the story tonight? Can I tell y'all a story?
Of course, let's go.
Yes.
Please
Yo,
do.
it's your
Do it,
night.
let's
It's
do
Please
it.
your
do.
feature. We're all here for you. You could do whatever you want, brother.
I can do whatever I want. No, I'm
Whatever.
just kidding.
Don't tell him that. Don't tell him that. Don't tell him that.
Hey, it's open mind, man. Like we here for you tonight, man. Take it away.
Yeah. So we'll start here. One thing about me is I have an undying infatuation with dragons. And so that will be kind of the reoccurring theme tonight. This is a love story of sorts. We're going to start this story off with essentially what is going to be our main character, Dragon, who is a metaphor of myself. So I feel like in life, you know, we go through quite a few things, and at some point or another, we relate what we're going through with some type of metaphor, you know, and we compare ourselves to something. We see ourselves as something, whether that be a flower or a living thing or a mythical being or whatever the case may be. For myself, I have always seen myself as a dragon for many reasons, which I may or may not explain. But so we're going to start the story off with where my life was prior to this love story happening. So this first piece is called Dragons. My entire life seemingly held curiosity for the mystique and magic of dragons. So that's where I planted myself firmly, discerning the otherworldly things I seemed to encounter. Sitting below the counter, staging a sit-in, and my out-of-body experience has me out my body, peering into fear itself, the mouth of a dragon. You know, I always wondered why their insides don't melt if they breathe fire, and my insides are cold, so maybe my words cold like ice, and that's why, actually, I think my heart stopped beating, like the landing wings of a dragon, and it sat right next to me, spoke in low tones because this depression song was sung by tenors and bass. It's loud like the dragon's roar, and I said goodbye to you on the phone, and I meant it. There was tough skin, but even that is susceptible to forceful penetration of my stability. Dragons are colored like gunmetal. That shot a fireball through the temples of his head. It went directly into the pass across her wrists in that bathtub, because outside the castle was a moat, and everybody that steps in it drowns. And I'm wet with grief, ready to jump in too. If you hadn't found me, the dragon surely would have taken me away, never to be seen again, and he will engulf me in this hypersexual mentality that sees me funneling my anger into pleasure. So now pain is pleasure and pleasure is pain. But I can't distinguish between the winged dragons and ones like myself that can't fly. I wanted to be a dragon, and I sat on my kitchen floor thinking my veins are holding me back, so I'm trying to cut them loose so I could begin to take off. I wanted to knock on heaven's door, although I'm told dragons are dangerous, so I'm kept at the gate next to them. Smoke and mirrors, that dragon is admiring its reflection because it usually doesn't have one. Cut to a different scene where the dragon is popular. Cut to another scene where she hid the knives, but I found them and hid my own. She never sharpened them, so the feeling was dull. Cut to another scene where we rewind the cutting to make more cuts. Cut to the scene where the pills made it through my body. The dragons fed me more, so I flushed it down the toilet. Cut to another scene where dragons got to me first and I was transformed, trying to look beautiful because I'm headed towards suicide, and they really make you look good when you die. We've done so many cuts that the film is bleeding biographies, and that's plural because those nightmares wouldn't stop coming. So I accepted my fate, mounting the dragon for us to go away because it's easier to deal at a distance. I breathe fire and burn the people around me because pushing isn't sufficient enough. I curl into a ball because there's something artistic about a dragon that dies but still can't stop the pain. So, did anybody want to? You guys would feel free to open up and respond in between pieces if you'd like. But otherwise, yeah. So, what I was seeing throughout this piece was what I was going through with my mental health. So there was this, throughout the piece, there are these emotions that I'm encountering, and it's all a part of my bipolar disorder, which, strangely enough, I feel like if dragons did have a temperament, it would probably be kind of bipolar because, you know, they would want to be nice, but being seen as something intimidating can sometimes has its effect on people. And, you know, around this time, because this was more earlier in my life, I was going through periods where I felt very alone. I felt extremely disconnected, and you know, I just didn't know where my solace was going to come from. But little did I know that somewhere on the other side of the world, and by the world I mean my world, there was a female dragon who was looking to be a part of something as well. And she was going through a lot of similar experiences as myself, but I hadn't known. But in this story, as we address one side, we must go over and meet the other character. And so this one is called Winged Dragons. And so this is the introduction of the other half of our love story. She gazed at me, with her eyes the material of black diamond dragon hearts. Her hair was dark as phoenix ashes until it became ablaze. Flames warmed her skin as the tips of her hair brushed her shoulders. radiant brilliance, resilience. I watched her dragon's scales weigh out her burdens. Sometimes dragons have arms long enough to grab things and hold on to them. Naturally, she attached herself to hearts because they beat like rhythms in lovemaking. Her movements, grace. Her breath, though fiery, sweet like cinnamon sugar. I taste her smile through my eyes, and it's the closest I'll ever get to a star. You see, dragons, they lend their trust and loyalty to those that they become fond of. So I watch as she spreads her beautiful wings while her toes tap the air. She's dancing on the sky like wind chimes, making music with her movements. She intertwined like hands into where her pleasure is nesting. To the kiss, the lips of this mystical dragon is to taste Inferno's faith. I watched her stand tall, with her beliefs in hand like commandments, only to be slayed by the first night to approach and fear her beauty to be witchcraft. She's torn, bearing her knees to the ground, exposing her wings as broken like high school hearts, beat against percussion instruments, finger her like notes on saxophones. Her roar is mighty as whispers from God's scriptures of how she had to be an anomaly to be so sweet, yet ferocious. With wings to fly, she is the epitome of an air sign, reaching out her claws. They figure her to be scarier than she appeared. Dragons are considered monsters, and sometimes she sees it too. But then flames of insecurity build up in her chest. She opens her mouth and exhales the negativity, but it hurts enough on the way out to leave its impact somewhere in her heart. Winged dragons are beautiful, precious, majestic, magic, mythical, and just everything. She must be protected at all costs. A phoenix never has to rise from ashes if we don't set fire to them. So that's the second piece.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go.
Closest I've ever been to a star. Damn.
So we meet, and there is this instant connection. You know, there is this, usually we would say boy meets girl, but let's stay in the moment and say dragon meets dragon. And, you know, there's the shyness, essentially. And strangely enough, there was a moment where I was tasked with having to really put some effort into making this other dragon a part of my world. And things kind of took off from there. We quickly latched to each other. We spent a lot of time together, and things were great. There was love, there was consideration, there was kindness, there was care. There were so many beautiful things that were present. But everything can't always be perfect. And so we ran into some issues. And coincidentally enough, it had nothing to do with our actual relationship. The issues all came from the outside interferences and the things that were a bit more out of control. As I was bipolar, she was as well. which two teenagers who are bipolar, makes for a very intense combination of lives put together. And so there were a lot of things that happened, and it was confusing. It was heartbreaking. It was mind-numbing. And eventually you start to notice where you may not be on the same level as the person you're with. We're both writers in that respect. And where my poetry is now was not where it was back then. And so it was very basic. It was very rhyme heavy because I was transitioning from rap to poetry. And so maybe in that there was a disconnect. But her poetry was deep. It was very thoughtful, and it just kind of took you into another place, but still had that element of raw emotion. Yeah. And so there, in my mind, was a separation. You know, we ended the other poem with saying that she must be protected at all costs, because to me, I found a diamond. But one thing you notice, even if, you know, you're not the smartest person in the world, that if I'm a dragon without wings and you're a dragon with wings, one of us will have to compromise to be close to the other. And that's where we pick up in this third piece, dragons without wings. When she breathes fire, it connects with the lips in the form of the most passionate kiss. And I wrote her name in the smoke with my fingers, hoping it would linger like the smell of marijuana. Get me high like the winged dragons, because this ground is not where it's at. Here sounds a lot like where I've always been. And you sat next to me, feeling the scales of my body, because it comforted you to be grounded like dragons without rings. I cut you as you cut you too, and we drew blood like scenery on the side of buildings, like graffiti. Stand close and hold me, but please stop flying, because your wings beat against my heartstrings, but it's supposed to play them gently. You know, we're on the same page, but we're in different books. Let me hold your fire against the silver linings to burn me till I black out. I act out, but only on the inside, because people want to see that dragons are the epitome of fire signs. But our astrology was at a star war, like astronomy's storm true, per silence that I feel in my dragon feet, and it's toxic, but we can't stop it, so we claw at each other until we bleed, and it mixes with the tears on our cheeks, compounded between the love. It's an explosion of chemistry, and you're an entity. I mean, a deity. I mean, supreme goddess divine, and your wings spread of energy. I watch you fly, and it makes me smile, honestly. Knowing at least one of us could be one with the sky, but did you get closer to heaven than you did with me? If so, does that mean that one of us possibly died? When dragons leave this earth, they turn to angels and their wings their wings bubble. I saw you in my future and you've seen trouble. I lied when I said I was over you. Our hands locked like the walls put up around you, and you're speaking through text, but I can hear that over time they were well solidified. When a dragon cries, it feels like lava. It sinks into their skin, and I don't have wings, but the lava is in my bone marrow, which contradicts my cold heart. But she doesn't see that my heart isn't cold because I'm damaged. It's cold because I knew you didn't love me the same. It made me not love me the same either. I decided to take the burning pit in my stomach and add ether. It feels like the hunger for you, but you can't see my heart. So I tried to rip it out of my chest to give it to you so you can feel what I feel. And the feel is a chill, and it feels like I was killed. But do dragons die? Because technically, to most people, we never did exist. Sometimes memories fade so much it looks like shit, or it looks like this has disappeared. She's incredible. She's life, the giver of it, the one who harnesses it in her bosom, in her womb. And I wished my child was there, but it was way too soon. I ripped your poems to pieces to eat them, hoping it would stop feasting on my psyche if they go in a different direction like we did. You flew. And I walked away because dragons without wings are supposed to be grounded, but I was clearly somewhere else. She said she was very hesitant to reach out to me, that she had to keep her guards up to assure herself a safety net. And I wanted to say I'd catch you, but she was back in the sky flying, so she didn't hear me die painfully, which is crazy because I said if you died, I'd die too. I'd die for you. We could die together because it's romantic, right? We fell in love with a song called Refuge by John Legend. And it's irony, ironing out the wrinkles, and I'd still die for you, but you won't die too. I feel like everything was a lie, and lies kill. The world blistered as everything I used to know withered. Winter's coming soon. And compared to my heart, it's warm.
God damn.
Oh, that was deep.
Bruh,
Oh my goodness.
I'm so
Man,
excited for when we upload this video because I need to show that to my wife Catalyst. Like, cause we was like two dragons meeting too, and you just like you described it, man. It's such a perfect way. I appreciate that piece, man.
Thank you. Shout out to Catalyst too. I was here Monday, so I got to hang out with her a little
Yeah,
bit
she was so she's like, oh, I got to meet Deep on Monday. He's cool.
there. Yeah, for sure. All right, so back into the story. So, as you guys heard, a lot of things kind of took place over the course of this piece. There was the realization that we were different. You had wings, I didn't have wings. You know, there was love there, but there was, and this can even serve as a metaphor in many ways, there was a disconnect where you could go to a place where I could never reach you. And that was difficult. the timing of this piece was some time after the relationship. I had never written about it because I couldn't find the words. And I feel like with this piece, you're seeing a lot of how I saw things through my eyes and how I saw her and how much pain and disdain was happening within the relationship. There were so many outside interferences that it was almost impossible for us to be with each other and not have at least a minor disturbance waiting somewhere around the corner. Now, were things perfect? Absolutely not. But I think we all do truly know a good thing when we have it, even if it doesn't last as long as we would like. So I continued to ponder what had happened, because this relationship, again, the relationship in itself was beautiful. Like there was, and it sounds weird maybe for some people to say teenagers were in love, because that sounds typical and cliche, but we were definitely in love, because the way I cared about her and the way she cared about me at that crucial time in both of our lives where we were equally suicidal, we were keeping each other alive, almost like a pact. If you go, I go too, but if you stay, I'm here with you. And so some time after we had dated, we didn't talk. And not that that's uncommon. But for something to be so deep and just to withdraw, there left a lot of questions. And part of the piece explained how, she had spoken up and said she was hesitant to reach out to me, and that she did that purposefully to stay safe. And when I heard that, it helped prompt that first poem, but then it made me wonder, maybe she was a dragon back then, but somewhere along the line, that dragon died and shifted into maybe something else. So I started to look at her differently. I started to see things differently, because in my mind, if you need safety and are hesitant to reach out to me, that means I have done something incredibly hurtful to you. And I want in no way for that to be the end to this story. But at the same time, I started to look back at the rest of the relationship and think to myself, is this something that I screwed up? Did I not see something? Was I in such a state of mania from the bipolar that what I was perceiving was not actually reality? And so if we look at it from that aspect, then there's definitely more to the story that needs to be told. And maybe she can still hold the beauty that I held her in before, but there's a good chance that she may not be a dragon. And that when we split, that was truly the end, and that there was no more to it. And so as I'm internalizing this and essentially giving in to my bipolar episodes, another story started to come out. And I had to come to the realization that if we die in the metaphorical sense, we either stay dead or we reincarnate into something new. And from there you have butterfly dragon wings. Souls lack pigmentation, so they take on the form of hypotheticals. Butterflies and dragons draw parallels like true colors painted on canvases with fire and butterfly wing designs and pollen. Do you ever wonder if wing things are indicators that angels exist? You dance the lines in your palms with the direction of my footsteps. We make metronomes jealous because the rhythm we keep is like secrets communicated in love languages. I embrace the fact that I was fluent in yours. Fluid can pour into useless and are the scores muses are forced into rooms where they only place to sit is a pedestal. It's decorated in love and infatuation. They're juicy like berries, but taste like the future or like failure, sorry. It's a hard pill to swallow, so we just consume the medicinal uses of sensuality. Maybe that was a sign because sex was unfamiliar. Intimacy was intricately injected venomously. Symmetry is sedimentary and rock me slowly to sleep because I let her go and the butterfly retracted into its cocoon. She fell into depression and nearly woke up in suicide. That phone call chiseled my ice cold soul, my frozen heart just above the fire signs that I breathe flames onto her trust. Maybe twin flames, maybe flame lit to spark things, but assuredly flames eat butterflies. It tears implications into their wings. Burned antenna to body, and you used to be a dragon, but you reincarnated to butterfly. Butterfly hearts are fragile, like the self-perceptions that dragons consume, exhume. The way a dragon's mind works, it's mythological. It didn't hold weight in a world where staying grounded is essential. The clouds bore rain and I tried to cover you, but the umbrella doesn't slow cold winds. So the butterfly swam through snowflakes and donned elusiveness because it's beautiful, even with the scars that just look like linings for tattoos. I don't know. I don't know if dragons are supposed to have good memories. Every moment with you emotionally was a good movie, moving in circles around you, ballet music graceful. When two winged beings dance, it's a series of twirls, the series of worlds. When you showed me how my fire breath looks, something like when you see your breath singing on the troposphere. If you won't live, I'll make you. And if you want to die, hold my hands and I'll take you. Butterfly, dragon wings spreading, they make anythings into nothings. So great that butterflies are majestic, but dragons are bad and dangerous. The sun is getting low. And I'm green with the way you calmed the monster in me. If the butterfly is so far away and dressed in scarlet, which way does my vision encapsulate me in? I can't straighten out these dragons, so it's hard to iron. Man, I feel like it wasn't supposed to be. I lifted you higher than heaven because butterflies Butterflies don't go up too high, so I found myself looking down at you, not on you. On you was the walls of home and butterflies. Butterflies are said to be good luck if they land on you, and their wings are God's red words in the Bible because they're so beautiful. We spoke about God, even though you didn't believe. You reached for a different sky. And dragons are useless with wet wings or wings distorted or wings hanging off, or worse, like me, where I tried to make me some wings from yours, but they didn't fit. But then you also couldn't fly. So maybe we were even then. And even then, I felt the separation seeping in, then boom, you vanished into a memory. Butterflies are beautiful in memories. Maybe the caterpillar forgot, but you were a dragon before that. Do you remember me? Is that why the love felt distant from an instant, drifting from existence, lifting from forgiveness, sifting from a sentence? I'm clawing through these poems to see if a butterfly can breathe fire. If it once was a dragon, you couldn't talk to me. And I hated me because I knew it was best. Did you cry? Do butterflies cry? Pixie dust and rainbow colors, they can't truly love a dragon, right? Because fairy tales are bullshit. Forever is a full clip that shoots us down out the honeymoon phase, which felt like every day. Now these memories are what we have to live with every day. And I wonder, have you seen any dragons around lately? And does the answer to that question make you smile?
Yes, it does.
Yes, it does.
Yes, it is. Um, yes, so in this beautiful journey of dragons and questioning, I think a lot of this was acceptance. And one other thing that put it on a different level, although we never made a vow of celibacy or abstinence, we never were sexual with one another. So in this absence, all our time was spent talking and getting to know one another. And I think that builds a deeper bond, deep as the fire that wells in a dragon, right? We are in a spot where, and this is the perk to it, although we don't live in a world where people practice this much, but if you take the sexual aspect out of the relationship, you really actually just have to get to know each other. There's no draw that gets you there, There's no draw that gets you into that space. And as a result, things just naturally become deeper. And for me, this was very pivotal for me, who, prior to that, I had one girlfriend. That one I almost don't count, but it was a thing. And You know, I can't lie. I was very hurt in realizing that everything I believed to be true was not. That it wasn't true at all, and that I was living in this world where I feel like I just created something, you know, and it makes you think again. It makes you go back to the drawing board. It makes you analyze self. Um, it makes you do everything except what you should do. I don't know if anybody has realized this, but one thing that never happened was me getting the reasoning, the true reasoning behind the wanting to be safe by not reaching out. And I feel like a thing with dragons, you know, as mythical as they are in a world of their own. And so, in that aspect, um, communication can be difficult, especially from the realm of being something that is generally looked at as terrifying and vicious and destructive, which at one point we were to an extent. um, but you learn to lighten up, and eventually, I found myself in a conversation with her, and I had to ask. You know, I had to ask, why did you say that? Like, what does that mean? Like, I was under the impression that the relationship was amazing, that it was beautiful, that we had just this unrivaled love for one another. And so what gives? You know, it's one dragon communicating to maybe a dragon, maybe a butterfly, maybe a butterfly with dragon personality traits. I mean, we didn't know, but we had a conversation, and I'm happy to say everything that I believed was wrong. It was not a safety tactic because of something that I had done, but rather her not trusting herself in the situation. And I had to go back and say to myself, well, maybe she is a dragon. And maybe what I need to look to is not my own perception of things, but the heart of a dragon. Which leads me to dragon hearts. The length of day benefits us in that we are most active then. The nights give incriminating evidence that that's only physical. Mental moves are the constraints that tie us to conformity. Our societal norm sees dragon hearts parietal to spirit, the winged dragon, and the dragon without wings, unable to coexist. Thoughts shrouded mist clouds, they tend to blanket truth and display assumptions proudly. The butterfly once again became dragon because delicacy is fictitious. It's the inner anatomy that discovers in unstable fixtures of emotion. We walked hell together barefoot. She started to fly again, but there are stalactites where we resided. Outsiders will backstab even the ground. It creates teeth in safe spaces, the sharp ones, where dragons clean prey from in between them. I prayed she would pursue life clean and never giving anything to the solar energy, but reflections of the past create prisms. She went to breathe fire, but smoke ran from her lungs. When it got just beyond her teeth, she could feel it fill her nostrils. The rush of chamas shone through like hope. But as I watched from the ground, I noticed a hole deep in her chest. It stuck out like black sheep. She's still in survival mode. You have to proceed from there with no heart. She gave mine back and took hers. I looked back to see her aorta sputtering, transitioning from heart to soul. A mistake amongst dragons can surely prove to be fatal. Locked into the lack of distinction of which came first, the heartbreak or the trauma. Come down here or you'll hurt yourself. I watched her lose sight. And in that moment, only my voice could guide you because it's still dark. I'm finding ways to adapt my bare feet to the heat. Wings have begun to sprout like new life in nature. Her breath sits on the winter breezes still. The night where your wings only took you so far, we stood knee deep in snow where only love could see us, yet somehow the unfolding of recents has us here. When dragons don't feel safe, they hide themselves amongst each other. And if you haven't been bitten too hard by life, you can blend in with the skies or the ground. You can realize that if we sang that one song, the one that always carried a tune of peace, then winged dragons and the ones without wings may find common ground. They will reunite and their paths will burn brilliantly. It will free the shadow work gracefully, and when the dust settles, there will only be dragon hearts. And inside those hearts is a story that never ends with heartbreak, just new beginnings and love unchanged.
Yeah. Man, where are you from, bro?
I'm from, I don't know, who knows? Oh, so.
Yeah, I'm loving this, by the way. I'm running around grabbing stuff, getting ready to go back to my wife in my new little place we got. And you're like telling this story of these dragons. And I'm like, it's just, I, it's so kismet. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, yeah, man, I'm really appreciating this feature, brother.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So, yeah, we came to a bit of a conclusion. Things from a romantic sense are long and gone. But I think to be able to reconnect on the level of friends is something way more powerful. And more importantly, having the story have some resolve where the questions that were there are no longer there. And now we just have a new beginning. You know, we have set out on a clean slate, and I do believe that we both are dragons, just not with the compatibility of being romantic. But that doesn't mean that the love that was there didn't or doesn't exist, because I believe love is like energy. It never dies. It just has to reincarnate as something else. So that's where we find ourselves. And so as that story is all taking place, we're going to draw that into this final poem, which sees us moving away from dragons and focusing just on love. 3 years ago, roughly, almost 4 years ago, I started my journey back into poetry. And as I don't proclaim myself to be a love poet, I do love poems. But I also feel like there are different types of love that we must express. And one constant that wasn't mentioned through the story of the dragons was my mother and where she stood in this whole situation. My mother was my first love, and I would be remiss if I did features and didn't do some type of acknowledgement to her. So as a dragon and coming from, I would say my mama was a dragon too, but she probably would tell you she's something else. But I make sure to end all of my sets in paying homage to her. So one consistent throughout that whole love story was my mom was there. And we didn't always get along with it because, and being a parent now, I understand. But when your child is going through something and there's something new abound, like a relationship, it is very easy to attribute everything that they're going through to that. Although that wasn't the case, and that relationship was actually one of the things that keep me going, we still had our differences. So for the last poem of this set, I haven't done this poem but one time. So if I get emotional, it's okay. You know, I will be okay. I am okay. But, you know, grieving a parent is a lifelong process. So if it's too much for you guys, there's kind of your trigger warning. But here we go. And I pulled, I'm a huge Tupac fan, so I pulled some Tupac lyrics. You know, his Baby Please Don't Cry song. So here we go. And this is called Rose Petal Tears. Baby, please don't cry. Hope you got your head up even when the road is hard. Never give up, baby, don't cry. It's the pivotal moments in our lives that stretch the limits in our beliefs in life and death. We hope with everything in our being that life be in the resemblance of Lady Luck, but death be about as far away as Pluto. The somber tones that I speak in matches with melancholy melodies. The pairing of these variables is so haunting. You look deep into the pits of the souls right beyond our pupils. It's bleak and endless. Even light sometimes gets locked in darkness. We hope to obtain love with no regrets. Unconditional, and the conditions pull at us often, praying that the condolences be enough to console us when it's tough. It's the feeling of knotted throats and realizing how easy it is to give up. Drugs, our persuasion, like sex and alcohol, is snickering because it knows it is definite poison. But I have to get high all the time to get you off my mind. I'm swaying in the fetal position, mimicking the womb in the moon. Mom's tears were silver before they fell to the ground as flower petals. That's value in loss. Grief is sheep, and your eyes get blurry. Your heart's heavy like a medicine ball. It's small, but the impact is devastating when done repeatedly. Baby, please don't cry. Hope you got your head up even when the road is hard. Never give up, baby, don't cry. I watch rose petals fall from her eyes like teardrops. Mom stared me in the eyes several days removed from my attempted suicide, and she cried and she shook as she explained with everything that she needed me to survive, that she couldn't stomach the blades I swallowed to try and die. So that song felt like life. But when I opened up my mouth to sing it to you, my voice was captured by the wrinkled hand of regret. We never ask ourselves if keeping them in a compromised state for our own sake is making them suffer instead of accepting fate. On Mother's Day, I sat in church with tears, wanting to explode from me in joy and pain. Give your mother her flowers so you can see her spirit smile. Hug her so you can feel love against your skin, and hug her one more time for those of us who don't have mother's arms to climb in. And it's okay, we aren't bitter. This is all a part of God's plan, I understand, and that's the secondary reason for tears. And I'm blessed because my mother's spirit lives on in my family and peers. I see her smile and my love, her tenderness from my best, her calmness in my chaos, located in the mothers around me. It's not the same, but it helps on the dark days. Baby, please don't cry. Hope you got your head up, even when the road is hard. Never give up, baby, don't cry. I've craved a mother all my life. When I got her and we were aligned, it was minimal amount of time, but it's quality over quantity. So when her love language went mute, and my tears make their way through the carvings in her gravestone, my body trembles, and my heart breaks again. And I promise to her I'll keep going, but my soul aches, Mama. And I lose my mind a bit in these moments. Doesn't make sense, and it's lonely, lowly at the most unexpected times. I smile, regardless, because in my smile is the blessing of her legacy. Thank you.
Man.
Everybody, do me a favor. Unmute yourselves. Give all the love you got in the world for Deep Dots,
Let's
the
go deep.
lyricist.
Beautiful.
Water
That was
featuring
so
amazing.
beautiful. Thank you.
Amazing.
Powerful.
Thank you
So
so
Very
much.
Deep.
profound.
thank you.
Such an amazing set. Incredible. Wow.
Beautiful,
Will never
beautiful.
disappoint.
Touch.
Like
Go,
so
boo
well
boo!
planned and put together too. Like, oh man, you did not disappoint.
Thank you for inviting me here tonight.
I appreciate it. My name is Joy, everybody. Thank you so much for inviting me. I heard me plug my phone in and just came by, and you helped me clean my bedroom. I had to stop everything just to listen to you. So thank you, and I love you. And great to meet all of you all.
Hey, Deep.
Joy to
It's
have
Mama
you.
T from Chattanooga, and I am so glad that I decided to come on this live, even though I had a rough day, and I actually started writing a poem about this experience. So thank you. You always help me break my writer's block, and I appreciate you, bro. Love you.
Love you too. Thank you so much. Thank you to everybody. Can I get my few words in quick before we
It's
continue?
still your night, man. Like I'm saying, we all here for you. It's your showtime. Yeah.
Listen, I be trying to be respectful at the same time. I appreciate y'all though. But yes, big thank you to everybody who came out. I want to name everybody, but that would take a lot of time. So thank you to everybody. Thank you to my poetry club fam. Thank you to my Chattanooga fam. Thank you to my sweetie pie who's in the audience. And just everybody who's a part of the community and came out to support. Like it means the world to me, like truly. And it has been just a busy kind of tasking time for me, mentally and emotionally. So to be able to pull myself together to make this happen is beautiful. And thank you to Open Minds. You guys have a great team. If this is your first time, they run shows on Mondays and Fridays, so y'all are welcome to tap in with them. Y'all know the vibes. Y'all are here. Y'all experienced it. So, if you like it, definitely come back. And then before we go, I did want to, and I put it in the chat, but for those of you who don't know, I do have 2 books out. Look, I'm looking at the screen and my hands are switched. It's weird, but I'm like, wait, no, that's not in my right hand. But this is Prophecies from My Heart. This is my first publication. This was dedicated, or is dedicated to my mother. So if you don't have a copy of that, you're more than welcome to get it. I know it's the blur. Yeah, whatever. I hate it. Anywho, I don't even know why it's on. I don't need the blur. I always have my background, but I didn't change it in time. And then here's my second publication, Midnight Thoughts and Deep Love. And this one, not that I'm trying to like super sell this to y'all, but it's just full of love poems. And I don't know, there may be a holiday coming up or something like that may be
Valentine's Day, y'all know what's good. Get it for your partner.
So yes, definitely. And it's this one is from a series that I had started on Instagram. I was working nights when I first got back on social media, and one thing I started to notice was that people don't really put out content at night. Everything gets put out in the morning time. And so, at night, for those of us who have insomnia or just can't sleep, you want something fresh. You don't want to look at the same shit you saw earlier in the day, and so I started producing these Midnight Thoughts, and eventually it was a goal of mine to compile them all together into the book. So they're short, they're really short, maybe like a stanza tops, but they are just sweet little love poems. Some of them get a little dark because of what I was going through at the time, which we don't have to go into detail with. But yeah, I think they're both great reads, not just because I wrote them, but because I do actually feel like it's quality poetry. So if you guys would like to get those, or I do have t-shirts out as well now. Let me quick grab one and I can show it to you guys, and then we can keep moving. But I have them in black and white, and it says free yourself. Oof. Goddamn blur. How do I take this blur off? That's gonna kill me. I don't want the background
I think
effects.
if you
None.
click like where it said video,
Boom. So
go.
here's a shirt. It says free yourself, speak up, and there's the mic on there. That is a phrase that I truly believe in, that you can free yourself if you decide to speak up, whether that just be writing poems or actually presenting them. Make sure to do that. And then Deep Thought the Lyricist. And as y'all can see, I have a dragon there. So that just further explains my obsession with dragons. But that's all I got. So I'm going to kick it and listen to the rest of the lineup because y'all came here for me. So it's only right that I stick around for y'all as well. I wouldn't leave anyway. It's my feature. You know, I might as well stick around and absorb everything that has to offer. But again, thank you everybody for coming out. I hope y'all enjoyed the set and the poetry. And yeah, I'm going to mute and pop back off the camera. Because I got dad shit to do.
Yo.
Can I throw some flowers on the stage here?
Yeah, go ahead, man. But
Yeah.
before you do that, I just have to make a quick announcement. I have to rush back to my wife who is at the shop there. We run a smoke shop now and live on site, and I'm night
Let me go with you.
security, and dude's about to leave, so I need to make sure that my wife's okay. I got some stuff packed deep. Thank you so much for this feature, for all these wonderful people that followed you into this room. I hope you guys follow us and come back. We do this all the time, like Dee said. Like y'all know the vibe, like come through, right? I'm so sorry I have to jet out and I won't get to hear the rest of y'all. But we record these and they're on YouTube. Go ahead and YouTube Open Minds, Open Mic. Follow us. We've had so many features. I think we've been going for over 3 years. It just, we do this every Friday and then again on Mondays with my wife co-hosting and this fella right here, John Michael, as the host of the Monday shows. And he's actually gonna finish hosting off the show for me. That's my brother right there. He's got my back. He knows that I'm handling business, trying to get everything in place so we could do this much more efficiently. So again, deep thank you so much. Everybody who was new here, thank you. We hope to see you again. And yeah, I'm excited to watch the replay so I can see how the rest of this night plays out. But yeah, y'all have a wonderful evening, man.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that.
Go ahead, Dragon.
I just wanted to say that I have had the privilege of meeting Orlando, who is a deep thought lyricist for sure in real life, and seeing him perform twice on stage in person, and seeing him a lot on lives and stuff. This was a particularly intimate, extended look at his work, and I really appreciated it. It was in line with everything else I've seen from him. He has a sort of a charming warmth that is completely disarming, and he has a way of communicating. It's odd. He can communicate strength through kind of an unblinking, completely unashamed vulnerability that he communicates very effectively in his work. And I don't know how he does it, but it's a gift. And I continue to feel privileged to share this space in this community with him. So, and I'm glad I got to see most. I got back off a long drive just in time to see probably 75% of your feature tonight. So I was very happy to catch that. Always good to see you, brother.
Good to see you too.
Oh, and I don't know if the queue's closed, but if the queue's not closed, I have a dragon poem. So if I can, I don't know if the queue's closed. If it's closed, I'll catch you some other time with it.
They got you on the list.
You can go now.
Okay, yeah.
If you want, Dragon.
What's that?
You can jump in now if you want.
Oh, I have a dragon. Somehow I've seen him so many times, and I missed his obsession with dragons.
You know now, and you'll never forget it.
No, definitely not. Yeah, did you want me to do it now? You know what you're saying,
go
John?
for it. Yeah,
it's a short piece. It's just that I don't have a lot of I don't have a whole slew of dragon things like Deep Thought does, but this I guess this is a response piece too. That though I treat the dragon a little differently than he did. And I wrote this at about my younger self. They told me not to do it, but I called the dragon down. I stood upon the parapet and shot off every round. I raced down to the captain and told him what I'd done. where I found him speaking Latin with a vicar and a nun. They couldn't give a damn about what I'd done or why. Wrapped up in discussion, they let it pass them by. Some vague decree of Rome had held them hypnotized. The world and all my rage was completely minimized by the decades they'd recite on ivory beads and lace in terror of the night I had embraced as a brash and tortured youth. When first I met the dragon, she introduced her truth, and I took another drag in. Her smoke was strong. Peace.
Absolutely beautiful, Ragged. Everybody unmute and give it up for Ragged the Poet.
Yes, Ragged. What up, what up?
Hey,
On
brother.
deck, we appreciate you. On deck, we have Ramrock, but up next, Keturah. If you'd like to read one for us.
I don't know if she's here. That's eccentric chick from
okay.
IG. It doesn't show a mic icon for hers.
No.
So she might not be on where she has access to a mic or something.
All right. Well, then, on deck, we have Escape Artists, and up next, we have the one and only Ramrock.
Greetings, y'all. What up, what up? Got two pieces here. Now I'm here to support Deep, but hey, why not do some poetry? There's a funeral in my belly. Bespoken emptiness embalmed in black bile and veneration. Eulogies blather their whispers were once unconscionable, spilling into the hollows of my chest. A procession of shadows, each a memory turned monstrous shuffles through the arteries, their footsteps echoing in the chambers. In this mausoleum of mannequins, I wander. Viscera of mistakes still quivering, twitching, the ghost of a touch, a betrayal, a word left unspoken, scalpeled precisions carved through aged intestines, exposing the rotten core, the stench of decay, a cloying perfume of rotted promises and forgotten dreams. Gluttony stamps my ticket to the redemptive procession where sin's dark sweetness intoxicates. It tastes sweeter than blood, sweeter than yesterday, sweeter than the stolen kisses and the bitter taste of goodbye, and the promises of broken, than the love of left to wither. But the sweetness is a lie, a fleeting comfort that leaves only skeletons and a deeper hunger. I feast on emptiness, hoping to fill a void that only grows wider, a gaping maw consuming all that I am. Poem.
Absolutely beautiful, Ram. I love your poetry and every single thing that you do for the community. I have so many poems that are based off of your prompts. So thank you for inspiring and continue to inspire everybody. Do you have one more you want to do for us, or?
Yeah, sure. Let's do one more. Let's do one more. All right, here we go. The poet is a fraud. Regurgitation of memories strung together by fallacies and released for overconsumption. Laundered feelings docked on pairs overlooking guarded tempests and floodgates. Mirrored mosaics dulled by refraction of guilt and vulnerability. Words too sharp for tongues, too malleable for resonance, too tiresome for the truth, too trite for the soul. Cacophony of cliches chained by circumstance, like a makeshift lifeline. A desperate attempt to stay afloat in a sea of sentimentality, where the only anchor is the echo of our own emptiness, and the only solace is the fleeting high of fabricated feeling. A poet's masquerade, a pirouette of deceit, where the only truth is the lies we tell ourselves. And the only beauty is the ugliness we can't confront. Thank you.
Everybody unmute and give up some big love for Ramrock. That was absolutely beautiful.
I hate you, Ramrock. How are you gonna say what did you say about your belly? Like what? I don't even want to speak to you
anymore.
Awesome. He shows the power of his words out loud. I always love reading Ram's pieces out loud. That's where you get the true emotional depth of those pieces.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Appreciate you guys.
Appreciate you, Ram. On deck, we have Nadia, but up next, Escape Artist. Bless us with some words.
Okay, I'm gonna do 2 unfinished ones because I'm working on them at the moment. Here we go. No one knows it's a Holocaust because no one's in the oven, but our brains have definitely been put in concentration camps. It's the war of distractions, the battle of our attention. The threat of being bored has us lusting over the pacifier. It's a genocide of the mind. The machine is sick, deathly ill and pus-filled. It will not stop until it's killed all it can kill. And they are coming for our children. We send our babies to school to get educated. But schools are good at schooling, not educating. They teach children to ignore curiosity and obey authority. The difference is obedience versus creativity. It's a glorified assembly line at best, producing putty out of people. Or softcore prison. The only difference between a school uniform and a prison uniform is the color orange. The girl drawing portals in her notebook has to stop at the sound of the bell to change cells, where she is reminded humans and monkeys derive from a common ancestor. The machine, be it gun or government, thirsting for blood, will find its way into the classroom to both give and clip wings. Perhaps the only thing children will learn is how fast the bullets turn to caskets, making memories out of babies. Classrooms mold minds into cattle, how they are graded the same. We tell our babies to think outside the box while trapping them in one almost 10 hours a day. Until they do their bid with their friends and go home, it's their minds that stay caged, the matter that turns gray, the brain connections fray. There is no room for individuality in the system. Divergent minds are a threat to the machine. They don't want open minds or free thinkers. They want sheep, employees. They want prisoners for labor and bodies to die overseas. They want you and me to believe they will prepare our children to fly. But wings never make it out the assembly line or the prison. That's the first one. And this is the second one. I think this was inspired by Ram's prompt. Something about attractive, alone, or something like that. I forgot what it was, but it was about being alone. And here we go. The shiny silence twinkles in my eye. It's temptation, the way my brain salivates for solitude, and I drool at the thought of being alone. I want to wrap myself in the distance of the space between my imagination and the prayer behind my lips. I'm always looking for me, the graphic designer, the iron worker, the fashion designer, the dreamer. I miss all the me's I never prepared myself to say goodbye to. I wish I knew this me as well as I knew the others. When you come home from the hospital with a new baby, no one tells you to prepare for the arrival for two strangers, the baby and your new self, the one you spend no time with, how you can be lost in your own body, under attack by residual foreign thoughts. There's too much noise, too much living, drowning desire, too many changes I'm trying to escape from. Seems like I'm always learning to walk again. How many more tumbles must I take? How much longer until I'm able to run? The goal is to fly, but I find myself always crawling, groveling at the feet of fear, losing faith between the cushions of my comfort zone, while all the me stand in line waiting for a blessing. One of us needs healing. Some of us need saving, but all of us are fading. That's as far as I got, but I'm not done yet.
Beautiful.
Listen, man, when you talk about me, you don't want to speak to me anymore. All right. Okay.
Valor,
Okay,
Ray.
man.
Valor.
Okay, man.
That was absolutely beautiful. I love the imagery in your words and the storytelling. You're a very brilliant writer, and I appreciate your art so much. Thank you for being
Yeah,
you, Escape.
yeah, she keeps it close to the bone, and and that's what's important. That's what I love about it. It's so relatable, and it's a thinker, always thinking.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Everybody unmute and give it up for Escape Artists.
Woo!
Beautiful,
Escape artist, I
beautiful.
don't know if you've ever heard Pink Floyd's The Wall. It was like a #1 album in like the 78 or 79 or something. It's exactly about what your first poem was about.
I gotta go check it out.
On deck, we have Taneeka, but up next, we have Nadia. If Nadia is still in the room. Nadia, did you want to read tonight?
Yeah, I can. I have space.
Okay,
Thank you for checking in.
absolutely.
Okay. So I'm going to share a couple pieces that are in the works. Here it goes. A cage of my own making. Emotional harm stretches through time, a shadow cast by hands that should have held. A storm that never settles, a weight carried in silence unseen. Trust, once a bridge steady and sure, now rusted metal weakened by storms. Worn thin by too many hands that let go, every promise turned to dust, every betrayal. Another bar in a cage built not from steel, but from lessons learned in pain. I used to reach, used to believe in hands outstretched, but hands became blades and touch became fire. So I learned to stay behind the walls I built, to lock the doors myself. Avoidant and anxious attachments, born from the wreckage of trust undone. Fractured blueprints of love, the foundations unstable, every new connection weighed down by the ghosts of past betrayals. Distance became a shield, isolation became a sanctuary. At first, a place of safety, then a prison I couldn't escape. The walls whisper back, "You built this because of them." But now the echoes taunt, "You keep yourself here now." Trust is a delicate thing, and trauma warps it like metal in the heat, bending, twisting, reshaping reality until every hand that reaches out feels like another lock snapping shut, another cage door closing. Some disconnect entirely, numbing the soul, howling out the heart, because the weight of pain is too much to carry, too sharp, too revealing, too real. I tell myself it's protection, that solitude is freedom. But when the silence stretches too long, when the walls grow taller, when the door I lock starts to suffocate, I wonder if I was ever really free at all. Neglect, in all its forms, it doesn't just hurt, it carves, etching fear into the body, leaving wounds that bleed through generations. Unhealed pain is inherited, passed down like an heirloom no one asked for, seeping through the cracks, lurking in the shadows, waiting to repeat itself. But cycles don't have to spin forever. This pain, it doesn't have to define me. Healing begins when I face the mirror, when I name the patterns, when I choose to believe that trust, though fragile, can still be rebuilt. And that door to my cage has been unlocked this whole time. Poem. I have another piece that's called Take My Hand. And this was inspired by a writing workshop that I am still in the process of editing, but it felt like a message from my higher self to me. Take my hand into the healing journey, a bridge spanning the cracks of pain. Together, we'll walk toward the light, discovering the beauty that hides in the shadows and scars. Take my hand. Let it be your anchor, a source of comfort in the storm's fiercest winds, a sanctuary in life's disruptions, where chaos softens and peace whispers through the noise. Take my hand, even when the weight of stress bears down, even when your heart feels too heavy to hold, we'll breathe together, a rhythm of mindful presence, a heartbeat that says you're not alone. Take my hand, a bridge stretched across the cracks of pain, a rope tossed across the canyon of the past. We will walk step by step towards something brighter, not erasing the shadows, but learning to dance with them. Take my hand. Let it be your anchor, a lighthouse when the tide pulls too strong, when the storm screams loud, when the winds shake your foundation. Grip tight. This ground is still yours to stand on. Take my hand, even when your chest caves like a house abandoned, when your breath stutters like a bird trapped in its own ribcage. Breathe with me, a rhythm of mindful presence, a tide rolling in, a tide rolling out, a heartbeat steady beneath shaking ribs, whispering, You are not alone. Take my hand, even when the pain lingers like an uninvited ghost, even when the weight is a deep ache in your bones, feels too heavy to carry, we will sit with it, not rush to move it, not force it into silence. Some wounds don't need fixing, they need witnessing, mindful presence honoring one's essence. Take my hand, right here, right now, not to mend what was never broken, but to remind you your cracks are where the light gathers. Your scars are stories still breathing. Your voice is a flame that never went out. Take my hand, because healing isn't a straight road. It's a labyrinth of detours and echoes, a place where lost things find new homes. The past doesn't define you, the pain doesn't own you, and love, real, boundless, untamed, has always belonged to you. Take my hand, even with the pain inside, even when the darkness feels endless, we'll hold space for every crevice, every shadow, every unspoken thought that's too sharp to carry alone. Take my hand in this moment, right here. We'll honor every emotion, not as something to fix, but as something to feel, to cherish, to let shine with love. These moments, these fragile yet powerful moments, are where healing begins. A hand extended, a safe place found, a reminder that every part of you, even the broken pieces, is beloved, is whole, is worthy. Poem.
Absolutely beautiful. I love your writing, Nadia. You know, it's like that the lessons of duality, the spiritual warfare within us, and kind of working your way through that. It's absolutely beautiful and healing.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Everybody unmuted, give it up for Nadia. Absolutely
Amazing,
beautiful.
Nadia.
Beautiful.
Very beautiful poetry.
Thank you, Nadia. On deck we have Angel Kim, but up next we have Taneeka.
Hi, John.
Hi. Looking forward to hearing what you got for us.
Thank you. I have two poems. The first is untitled. Are you able to hear me?
Yep.
Okay. I must confess, I am not a writer. I contort French toast griddled on pan-seared thoughts. I bend forms into twisted jaws with waltzing punctuation. I set fire to grammar and make tombs out of norms. I undo confusing, confining, cunning prescriptions of creativity. I eat panthers for breakfast and call it inspiration. I raw with passion emanating from my belly. I am the raw. Like the lion that eclipses my lunar in creative motion, a composing composition of melanated medicinal magic making music melodiously in tune with spirits. I told you, I am not a writer. I'm telling you, I am not a poet. I am a poem giving birth to the breath my ancestors breathed, birthing pictures of watery placentas natally speaking. Breathed into the scope of my esophagus stretching to wuthering heights of expansion. Expansion so high, Jupiter dies, Goliath cowers in intimidation. For my heights can split rocks the way I love breaking bread with the so-called dead. Seeing with the eye that can't be seen, I plant traumas into cemeteries and call these my comebacks. So I always come back to me, so you could always come back to you, because you see my words are not poverty pimps pimping, milking ducks from barren levees. A fire breathing, dragging with raging sensual energy, dangerously preserved under a cool reserve. A writer, I am not. A poet, I am not. An author, I am not. I snatch souls with my pen, vomiting over paper. 1980-1160-1046. Birth year, birth date, old address, old zip, full smile, different age, Bronx born, native raised. My name is Taneeka, but some erroneously call me Tamika. But nevertheless, I'm happy to meet your acquaintance. And since we are in the theme of dragons, this is a poem entitled I Am Dragon. And it's a piece dedicated to male empowerment. And it goes like this. He unhooked her bra, couldn't wait to fondle her breast, slam dunk his fingers into her velvety vest. She used her teeth to unzip his zipper, couldn't wait to dribble his basketball's full court teeth, tongue, hook, and sinker. But I digress, because in this modern world, he's no ordinary man, for he never possessed finesse the mind that was simple enough to digest. Multi-layered, a complex pancake of an iceberg, he knew he was not for everyone's consumption. The way everyone wanted a piece, like he was their Kit Kat bars, Snickers, Twix, too many licks into the center of a Tootsie Roll Pop, delectable, human, chocolate, too tempting to not beastly devour. But lately, he's been depressed. Deep in his feelings, he hides in isolation, thinking about the last time he tried to rise in love, give his heart to his beloved instead of being used for his body. Intimate with women that only saw him for a good time, but never a good time for a long time. None were interested in anything serious. Intentional, they were not. Did they even notice the color of his eyes? Did they even see him, period? Sometimes he did not desire coitus. Sometimes he just wanted to be held, listened to, cuddled, have someone hold his hand, hug the little boy inside of him, go on endless fun adventures. But in asking for these things, would he be perceived as less than a man? The last woman friend-zoned him because he wanted to get to know her before being intimate. He couldn't win. Hookup culture was not for him. He knew he was more than just an erect piece of wood sliding into a slippery slope. He knew he was someone worth getting to know. He knew his worth, refused to go against what was constantly insulting his soul for external validation. He knew that intimacy extended beyond bare genitals. For no matter how long or deep the nights endured, he would endure, knowing that someone out there also shared a similar view on intimacy that reached beyond the body into the soul. For even if he felt like an outlier in a world that told many men to act in some human-less ways, he would still shed tears, view vulnerability as strength. He would still love with his whole heart, never allowing heartbreaks of the past to sabotage his chance to be happy now. Never allowing fear to be his pimp, he would still believe that beauty exists, especially when he looks up at the sky, never stooping low to be someone he is not, never falling prey to a false representation of self. He loves himself to know that his power truly comes from within, and that the right woman, the right soul will recognize a true home in him, because she too was a home for herself first. For it is better to enjoy one's own company than to be in spaces where in togetherness you're alone. And this realization, he raised himself up, loving himself even harder, meditating on brighter days to come. For dragons breed myths, foaming from the mouths of seamen, but nothing is as tangible or magical when dragons are legends, rising high into the clouds, sailing on misty moonlight mist. See, he's a sensory beast made of air, water, fire, earth, and ether. Musical scales slide down his back, collecting beats, notes to maintain his daily rhythm. He is that sensory beast, collecting taste buds from buds to savor the taste of skin for eternity. He breathes that sensory beast, collecting eyes so he could be the sight that protects his own eye from internal destruction. He roars in a rave that is that sensory beast, collecting ears to tune in for increased self-awareness, collecting arms so he could wrap himself with even more love than this climate. Throws out Thor's bolts of thunder, threatening his underbelly of protective armor. He boasts that sensory beast, collecting nostrils so he could finally breathe in some oxygen from freedom of conformity. Not just noxious fumes roping up his energy as some others may believe dragons to do, but a colorful serpent, magenta, teal, yellow, blue, collecting wisdom from talking trees, bodacious, meaty claws digging up his depths, rediscovering the roots of he, untangling twisted tales of intimidation. He hoards nothing, for it is the hoarder that wants to hoard him, because he's that magical beast taking back his strength from mountains to pay for his regeneration. He is the fire that breathes passion-filled lava raging from his ancestral lineage. He is the air that stimulates continuous intellectual havens from the teachings of eagles. He is either collecting spiritual pixie dust to fuse with dragon's blood and myrrh. He is the earth collecting grass to ground his temperamental being into stability. He is water, collecting every teardrop that falls from a sullen eyelid, drinking the salt of shadows, rising in true confidence, raising a middle finger high toward his ego, toward his pride, because he is that sensory, sensuous dragon, collecting all of he from fictive fiction, dismantling myths of dragons to be something real, tangible, non-fictive, original, extricating his fluid from society's placenta to be the man he was divinely called to be, taking back his mental poem.
Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Thank you.
Jeez, Taneeka.
Thank you.
Everybody on mute and give it up for Taneeka. That was absolutely that was beautiful. Thank you. Very
Yeah.
powerful words.
Yeah.
Yay, buddy.
Thank you.
Thank you for posting your links.
Yes, that's my book link.
Perfect. I think midnight is gone. So up next we have on deck we have Tierrah Nicole, but up next we have Angel Kim. Angel, you on there? You wanna? Might be off.
She over there wrestling with them grandkids.
I am here. I am here.
The mic is yours, Angel.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's see. I will give you this. And DT, fabulous pieces that you did tonight. I'm always love to hear you, love. And it's been a minute since I had, so I'm glad I got to enjoy you tonight.
Thank you.
They told me to run when I see a bear. But no one warned me about men. How their claws could be much sharper. How their growls could be more than rattle cages and how their welcoming smiles were snarls, trapping trust and teeth made to tear apart anything in its grasp. I'd rather face the forest beast where survival is written in bark of trees because, at least with the bear, I'll know when it begins, when danger begins. They say a bear attacks when it feels threatened. Men, however, attack when they feel entitled. A bear doesn't whisper sweet lies in your ear, doesn't promise safety, then shatter it with fist and fury. A bear's warning comes and roars, but a man's danger hides in silence, in flowers bought after bruises, in words designed to strip your worth until you wonder if your prey or partner. At least a bear doesn't rewrite rules, doesn't tell you scars it gave were somehow your fault, won't use trust as a weapon or gaslight you into believing love looks like torment or that survival means silence. A bear hunts for survival, driven by hunger, by instinct, but men take because they can. Strip away your humanity like paint from old walls, layer by layer, leaving you raw and exposed, marking their territory on what they think they've built, claiming every inch of you as if you were theirs to begin with. Their hands feeling like barbed wire while their eyes are like shirt slices, turning your body into playground without your consent or even remorse. Treating women like stolen goods, something they conquer to break like stubborn mules and to leave in ruins. They like to rewrite your story, claiming every page of your beginning as if your worth begins and ends with their touch. At least with the bear, it doesn't pretend that it loves you while it rips you apart. It doesn't smile after expecting gratitude for leaving you alive. When men leave, they take more than your body. They steal your voice, your sense of safety. How do you heal when your wounds wear their names? When the scent of them linger like rot on your soul and the world blames you for bleeding? I know it's not all men. We all know this. But how many must it be before the air becomes breathable for us? Before you stop walking alone at night, before your skin feels like a prison you never asked to be locked inside, at least with the bear, you see the attack coming. There's no slow poisoning of trust, no pretending to be safe in arms used to squeeze life right out of you or in hands used to betray you in the dark. A bear doesn't wear a mask, doesn't smile while it devours you whole. It doesn't hold your heart hostage or leave you wondering if love or fear are supposed to be the same. But men will wrap their violence in silk words, turn apologies into weapons, and leave you questioning your own worth. They say women are fragile, yet we carry weight of their sins. Build entire lives out of broken pieces, survive what no one should ever have to survive. Still, they tell us to forgive, to forget, to find beauty in our scars. But what beauty is it? In the battlefield where the war is waged on our bodies. So, no, I'll take my chances with the damn bear because a bear doesn't lie to your face, doesn't chain your soul to sweet promises, doesn't teach you to hate the sound of your own name. A bear is honest in his hunger. But men will devour you slowly, piece by piece, until there's nothing left but the absence of who you once were. This is a taste of Southern Soul.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Absolutely amazing. Do you have another one you'd like to share?
Sure. I can share another one. Auntie said trust is like a glass house where people throw stones, waiting to hide hands, then watch it crumble. I kept letting people in, leaving their footprints on my bare floors, tracking dirt on my soul, wiping muddy intentions on my heart's doormat. See, I believed in warmth of handshakes, but their grips were cold, slick like promises that slipped through like oil on water, leaving stains I couldn't scrub out. She told me, man will fail you every time. I laughed it off, thinking her words were made of brittle bones, old folk tales meant to scare young. She's just old. She don't know what she talking about. Life, life has a way of making you understand a little too late, slapping you across the face, bringing you back to reality. And my trust was like a worn out currency spent on people who couldn't pay back in love or loyalty. Transactions with insignificant funds, betrayal, receipts I kept. Proof every debt leaves you broken in ways deeper than money would ever allow. God's the only friend you've got, she'd whisper, yet I didn't listen close enough. Too busy building bridges, leading me nowhere, standing on shaky grounds, not capable of holding heaviness of their betrayal while God stood still, anchored, only thing keeping me from drifting too far. My trust was like a blind man walking on glass. Each step fragile, cracking under weight of expectations. But see, trust isn't something that breaks, it shatters, cuts deep, leaving scars you can't see, even though you always feel each and every open wound. My auntie said, girl, you keep playing with fire thinking you won't get burned. And I guess I thought flames were pretty until they nipped at my fingertips, turned my good intentions to ash, left me wondering why I ever reached out to begin with. God's the only friend who never fails, she said. I kept knocking on doors he kept locked, kept handing out keys to people who never planned to stay. Turns out, only door ever open was one I refused to walk through, where God waited on the other side, arms wide like home. Now I see. Only friend who holds steady while the world tilts is one who built me from inside out. One who never asked for trust but deserves it in full. And I spent years handing out pieces of my faith like candy to people with cavities in their hearts. Auntie was right. Man will fail you every time. Promises break like dawn after a sleepless night, and love without God at center is like chasing the wind. You'll never catch it. But see, God's always there, silent but steady, like a lighthouse in a storm, guiding you back home when you lose sight. A true friend whose loyalty is woven into my soul, unbreakable, no matter how much the world falls apart. Thank you.
Thank you. Absolutely powerful words. Thank you very much. Everybody on mute and and give it up. That was absolutely beautiful. Thank you.
That was beautiful. I love it. That was awesome.
Thank you, Tierrah.
You're welcome.
Well, on deck we have Dew, but up next we have Tiara Nicole, and I can't wait to hear what you have for us tonight. I love your poetry.
Thank you. How's everybody doing? I had to switch devices because
That was an amazing feature. It was such an experience. I love how you just linked everything together. So congratulations for that. That was amazing.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so the first poem that I'm gonna do, it's some old shit. It's called Know Thyself. I am a queen, and it took me a long time to realize this because I suffer from low self-esteem. It was the roughest patch of years for me. I would get used, verbally abused, ostracized, criticized, and ridiculed. I felt like I had no one to talk to. Every night I cried, my feelings I would hide. I was so deep down in depression that no one knew that I was on the verge of committing suicide. I felt alone, and I thought to myself that maybe this world would be a much better place if I was gone, because I was sick of it. I was sick of my life being constantly judged by not being Little Miss Pretty and perfect. No life at all seemed much more worth it. But one day, God came before me and had this to say. It hurts me to my heart to see a child of mine suffering this way. And worse, you're thinking about throwing your life away. If nothing else, remember this. Nothing is more precious than your life, so cherish it. I thought about this and I said, you know what, God, you're right. There's nothing more troubling than taking one's life. Once this is realized, God had placed an angel before me. And this angel didn't need any halo or wings, just a pen and paper to express my feelings. God gave me a gift, which was a gift of poetry. Poetry was a way for me to testify, to vent. It was a way for me to free myself from those darkest thoughts so that I can be released from my self resentment. No one should ever have to feel this way. So I have this to say. Ladies, know your worth. We come from royalty. It's in our DNA. We are worth more than diamonds, which is considered to be the hardest material known to man, but not as hard as breaking down the walls or barriers that have been put up by a girl who's been through more hell than she can withstand. Diamond, a precious jewel that's measured by the four C's. Carat, clarity, color, and cut. Yes, cut. Like the slits on the wrist, which is something that a girl might turn to when she's just about ready to give up. Self inflicted pain, a reflection of the inflicted pain caused by her peers. Blood-stained tears that the only thing that she could think to do to soothe her tormented soul because it feels like her life has been spun out of control. Diamond, graded as the hardest on a scale of 1 to 10, which is how we're graded time and time again on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being the so-called ugliest and 10 being the most good looking. You see, life for me just felt like one big beauty contest, like a shell covering a pearl, only seeing what's on the outside without giving the contents on the inside a chance to manifest. And a ruby, what a fine piece of jewelry, which is equivalent to how we could be looked at in the streets, like a piece of meat or an arm piece, taught to be seen and not speak. Well, I say enough is enough. It is time for us to come together, ladies, and step up. No longer will we tolerate being seen as that thick slab of meat just sitting there waiting to be eaten. We are women who are tired of being fed. We are queens, girls. We are worth way more than any amount of diamonds, rubies, or pearls. We are children of God who deserve nothing less but the best. We demand respect. We are blessed, we are strong, and we are beautiful. And we are God's gift to this earth. See right now, peace.
Real quick, I don't know if this happens for everybody else, but like the last maybe third of that poem was like glitched out.
Oh, damn.
Was it just me? It might have just been me.
No, we heard it.
Okay. Yeah, we missed probably like the last, I would say, third of that piece.
Oh, shit. Okay. Is it okay? I don't want to
We
take a
still
picture.
losing you.
Yeah, it says your
Is it
bandwidth
me?
is low.
Damn it.
I think we lost her.
Can you guys still hear me?
I
Damn
can
it.
hear you. I think her bandwidth is low. All right, we'll move on. On deck we have Lisa Lips, but up next we have New. New, would you like to bless us with some words?
Hi, good night. Sure. Deep, your set was amazing. Let me just say that. I know you've been hearing it all night, but it's worth saying.
Thank you, and thank you for coming.
No problem at all. So this piece is called Gifted. Let me sit with you, showing all good things you've been written to share. Meeting your mind in time at ease, we give and receive love we've never seen existing. Exchange of feelings, releasing and healing this space named time, embracing what is, all in becoming what could be. People like what they can't see, and when a lie becomes truth, it's hard to believe it isn't. Saying something real is needed, though when presented chooses lies over reality, it's familiarly comfortable. So the words once spoken over you, even that you've told yourself, I don't listen. Seeing I believe in the you yet to exist, and though our past written, this future has been gifted for us to create what's exhaled before time for us began ticking. Truth is, I never knew the touch of love till I kissed your fragrance. Walking round with clothes off, I mean walls falling in pure nakedness, 'cause you always answer my calls. When I call, you come. Knowing vulnerability yielded once commanded, requested, expected, loving you reminds me I am worth watering seeds of growth. Knowing the queen inside of me, unveiling the slut I want to be with him, being pleased every inch felt in me since he likes to compete. Creating safe space soft for us as in music, unlocking old memories. This nostalgia we share clears the air for centuries of our love to be here. Poetry, you really are a gift to me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, New. Do you have another piece you'd like to share?
No, I think that's it. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. So very beautiful. Everybody unmute and give it up for New.
Beautiful piece.
Very beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you, New. On deck we have a Scary Moore, but up next we have Lisa Lips. Take the mic when you are ready, Lisa.
Okay. I brought a couple of pieces. The first piece is relatively new. It's called Home. As a poet, my words rarely fail me. I can conjure fables that mesmerize, tell tales of love and lust that can bring a grown man to his knees. But when I think of the depth of my love for you, I find that words can't express it all. You have been in my heart for decades, a failed love, one I thought I had broken long ago. But I kept your secrets close, never betrayed the whispers we shared all those long nights ago on that futon on the floor. 'Cause no matter how it hurt to be without you, I still loved you too much to betray your trust. You were always the pinnacle, the prototype of the man I dreamed.
and I sought glimpses of you in every facsimile I tried, but they all paled in your sunlight. So I gave up trying. Knew I'd never again have that thing we shared. Decided to just plan for me alone, knowing my greatest love was lost 20 years ago. Then the message came. Remember me? I went pale. Was this really you? Chat confirmed it and apologies spilled out on the floor. You said it was never me that failed you. Your fears just made you weak. And I tried to deny how your words made me weak. Felt all the barriers that I had built crumble at the sound of your voice. My head wanted to resist, but my heart melted like chocolate in the sun. You were here. All I longed for stood at the end of my phone line, and I finally understood why my broken journey had been so. Every fall was a lesson that prepared me to receive all the love you harbored for me. And my heart broke open, emotion flooding every crevice of my soul. And I knew I was finally home. And that's that piece.
Absolutely beautiful. Do you have one more you'd like to share with us?
I do. This one is kind of a trigger warning. I wrote it about the myriad of school shootings that have been happening. This one was just based on the one in Uvalde. And it's called I Just Want to Go Home. Awards Day. When I get my perfect attendance certificate. It's been a very busy school year. I worked hard for this day. We've almost made it to the last day. Then I got the whole summer to play with my friends and go on trips with my family and just have fun. Everyone's so excited. The assembly was fun, and Mommy bought a new frame for my award. It's really cool with a gold seal on it. And next year I'll be a fifth grader, the big kid in school. But wait, what's happening? Why is this boy in here? And why does he have a gun? Wait! What's that loud noise? Why is my teacher screaming? What am I supposed to do? Everyone's running, but we can't go anywhere. I'll try to get behind teacher's desk. If I run really fast, I can make it. Oh. Why is my chest hurting? It's hard to breathe and my shirt feels wet. I just got to get under teacher's desk. But I feel weak. Maybe if I just lay here, I'll be okay. People are falling down and why are there red spots everywhere? Oh, hi, teacher. What's wrong with your eyes? Are you laying down with me? Why aren't you answering me? The floor feels cool. Maybe if I close my eyes, all this noise will just go away because we're supposed to go out and play soon. Maybe I'll just take a nap. I hear big people voices. They're yelling, stop! Drop it! So much noise! And I'm so tired. Where's my certificate? Mommy will be mad if I lose it. I'll just look for it later, after my nap. It's getting cold and dark, and my chest inside still hurt, but not quite as bad. I hope I hope my teacher called Mommy before she laid down, because I just want to go home.
That was a powerful piece. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
Everybody, give it up for Miss Lisa at this time. And I think we're down to one last poet for tonight, unless anybody else wants to share.
Nope, I was just gonna say those poems are very beautiful, Lisa.
Thank you, Dee. I'm glad I followed you in here tonight.
Thank you for stalking me. I mean, following me.
I love you too.
It's been an absolutely beautiful night. Up next, we have Scary Moore. I hope I said that right. If not, I apologize.
That's cool. I go by Yogi.
That's Yogi John. What's good, bro?
What's going on, man? It was a great feature, bro.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you coming.
Yeah, definitely. I got a couple pieces. People keep telling me your art is beautiful. And I smile. Say thank you. But this art was earned. This was burned into my synapses, addicted to pain. I keep experiencing relapses. I got a different brain. I mean, my brain worked different. It moves so fast. It moves so fast. It slows things down so much. I see everything in detail. So much detail, I don't want to see it. Memories that leave my temple gashed. I'd rather put these memoirs in the trash than pay them another visit. There's so much detail just by thinking about it, I relive it. They say it's a gift, and I'm gifted. I say gift is kindred to curse. And anyone can be coerced into being immersed into what they think will finally give them worth. Till you see it from the other side when things get twisted, I'll admit it. I used to hit myself. I used to think if I hit myself hard enough, my brain would stop working like this. So I'd run into things on purpose so I could stop feeling so worthless. Anxiety overwhelming all the well wishes. I thought I could stop being so nervous if I was nerveless. I just want my brain to work like everyone else's. They say your art is beautiful. I say I earned it. I grew up around drug dealers and dope fiends, priests pretending to be hope dealers and really just pope fiends. I lived around the corner from the next crime scene. By the time I was 18, I had seen 10 murders up close. Two close friends in prison and two close friends that had been murdered. And that's not counting all the dead bodies I seen. I ain't realized until college that I basically grew up in a war zone. My anger issues, they wrote off as overly emotional and youthful hormones. I was on stage performing when he called me as he lay there dying. When the cop shot Inkwell in his back while he was running away, or at least trying. Right in front of the Greyhound station, and the news stabbed my heart like a knife, and we would have made it to the radio station if Hassan wasn't living a double life, then got caught HIV and go kill himself. Why he go kill himself? I never killed myself. I was molested and never spoke of it. Neglected and never spoke of it. Rejected and never spoke of it. My BM took my son and barely let me speak to him. This ain't right. But what's right, huh? What's right? Right? What's right? What's wrong? There's no normal, right? They tell me man up and deal with it. Adapt or die. Better dare the devil that blindfold, you can still hit a bullseye. Cause it ain't no hero coming, nigga. This ain't sci-fi. You better wise up, wise guy. Use your third eye to connect the source like Wi-Fi before you get washed like tie-dye. You better get busy living or get busy dying. What if it already feel like you're dead? And the only time you feel alive is on stage. So I partake on paying a painful penance, pairing prose and a paradox to paint paradise in the peculiar panorama of Pandora's pieces and pieces of pretty pandemonium of poems that I use as paraphernalia to parallel or paracel as I paraphrase Aeneas's parables on a page is something like a palindrome. My pages, the parables of a phoenix as I paraphrase and paracel parallel to a poem pandemonium, pretty pieces. I find peace in a piece of Pandora's panorama in a peculiar paradise, paint and paradox, prose pairing with a penance of painful payment of which I partake on stage, and they say, your art is beautiful. I say they handsome scars, and I earned every last one of them. I'm gonna share this one as well. God created man in his image. Man thinks because he can think and he is self-aware and he fancies his reflection, so man fashions God in his image and makes metaphors and allegories about the story he tells himself about how he is the most civilized. And the animals and the trees laugh. Because man got gassed off making his own language, but never tried to learn the language of animals or trees. And man forgets that trees were here long before him, and trees will be here long after him. Man cuts down trees to write about God, ignoring that without trees, man can't breathe, and without breath, man doesn't exist. Man chops down nature to preach about the glory of God. God created man in his image, but man doesn't look in the mirror to see his DNA's double helix or the combination of vibrating gases that creates all matter. Man thinks he matters more than all matter, and that he is God's favorite. And the animals and the trees laugh at the irony of being the last to have a choice of dealing with their narcissistic sibling that God created with the same double helix, because man has eyes, but he doesn't see. And man speaks, but he hasn't said anything more profound than being present in nature. So the animals and the trees wait for their special needs, brothers and sisters, to realize God is breath and breathing is prayer. And how dare you interrupt church with your sacrilege? How dare you interrupt church with your nonsense about a book you made from cutting down trees that give you breath? How dare you speak of holy? How dare you claim to know God when you haven't even figured out how to love yourselves? Because the trees don't war, and the animals don't genocide. So don't pass me a Bible or a Quran or a Torah, because I've read better scriptures on leaves. Seen wiser wisdom in weeping willows, heard better hymns harvesting herded herds, plagiarized better psalms from the palms of periwinkles and poinsettias. Don't tell me about your good news, because for some reason, destruction always follows it. Genocide always follows it. Land theft always follows it. Rape, pedophilia, slavery always follows it. Don't tell me I need to read my Bible if you haven't taken the time to plant a tree to replace the one you destroyed, just to tell me about how narcissistic man can be because you think trees aren't holy. Well, I think Bibles are full of black holes that suck the brains out of man's logical role of guardian of the garden, and the animals and the trees are tired of you playing pretend that because you are aware, can read and write, that because you can think, you think somehow you are closer to God than them. Go look at any past civilization and see how the animals and the trees cover them eventually. And over time, they win. So maybe they're God's favorite. And man just uses books just to justify being uncivilized. Poem.
Wow. Absolutely powerful.
Woo! Yes. I forgot how much I love to hear you spit.
I appreciate that.
Absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for sharing those two pieces. Everybody on mute and give Yogi a big round of applause right there. That was absolutely beautiful.
Amazing.
Amazing.
Absolutely amazing.
Well, I just want to thank Deep from the bottom of my heart for doing this feature tonight. It was an absolutely amazing feature. That story that you shared tonight, it was very powerful, and very relatable for me. You know, I also have bipolar and kind of spent a good portion of my life in a confused state, not really understanding this world. Um, I used to tell people back in the day, I'm kind of like a 3-year-old, just, draw pictures, yes or no, and circle one. Um, so I get everything. That's kind of one of the reasons I love your poetry so much. Your words really do mean so much. And I thank each and every single one of you for sharing your words and bearing your soul night after night. Um, you're all so very special, and I appreciate each and every one of you so much.
The Iridian's greatest secrets were hidden in a vault located on the planet Pandora.
Yogi, your mic's on.
Oh, sorry. My bad.
I was gonna say though, thank you so much, John, for helping host this space and finishing out this feature night. And everybody who stuck around, man, y'all. It takes a lot to stick through a full a full night of poetry because there is quite a bit, but it has been nothing short of just incredible poetry the entire night. So thank y'all so much.
Well, thank you. Your feature was beautiful, and that story was very familiar and very, 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 very beautiful. And again, thank you for being you. Thank you for continuing your work in the community and everything you do at LBJC, and everything that you just do for the community. You're a very important person in the community, and I love your words and I love you so much. So thank you for being you, Deep, and thank you for sharing that little freeze frame of your life with us tonight. It was so powerful and so needed.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you too, brother. Always.
Absolutely, absolutely. So with that, I'd like to thank each and every one of you for coming out tonight. It's been a beautiful night of poetry. This is Open Minds, Open Mic. We're here every Friday night at 8 o'clock, 7 p.m. Eastern, sorry. And every Monday night, Chaos Magic, hosted by Miss Catalyst and myself, at 8 p.m. on Monday night. So roll on through, say hi, and read some poetry. And I hope to see you all again. Thank you so much for coming tonight. I appreciate each and every one of you. One love.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.